I'll say. If I remember correctly, does he have a Nagaise? I don't remember.
And Blue, go
Um,
ahead and check if they're in, because they're definitely in. We're spectating from Alto's side currently, but we are here. This is the quarterfinals of this weekly tournament number 20. And as you said, Blue, spicy stuff coming out from both sides. So we saw Alto working with that Deceit
oh,
Aura guys. So that's something
yeah,
that should be worrying a bit for Dave there. And as you said, Blue, we didn't see much of Dave, so this is the first time I've
yeah,
seen Size Munch on a team here.
yeah. Yeah, Side Munch is one of those tems that is very impactful, unfortunately, because of all the mental tem. I've not really seen him shine yet. I did catch one of his games, but I don't think I remember Side Munch being picked or otherwise in play at all. But regardless, Size Munch is one of those tems that does a lot of damage if you allow it to go out of control, as well as on top of being able to show off. Quite literally, it is able to, well, basically, a half heat up, so to speak. And if you pair it with the Scunch as well, which I did see, I believe, once, you can pair it, and you'll get that bonus vigorized. Yeah, regardless, it also helps with the stamina issues, although I'm not really sure if Tems have stamina issues nowadays, but still incredibly useful. Nagaise immediately banned by Dave, though, does not want any of those shenanigans. His mind cannot keep up.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just that, it just looks like it's a solid. And that's what we were speculating would happen, right? You build a bit of a team around that Deceit Aura. If your opponent catches wind of that, that game plan, the auto ban most likely gonna be that Nagai. So that is the game plan from Dave coming into these quarterfinals here. And here we go. We haven't seen anything from Size Munch. So bringing out that Smazy third Evo to play. Let's see how much work. I mean, it's a melee tem. I'm seeing a couple Earth Tems on the side of Alto, so not too bad. But potentially starting off with a good old Yukama Vola start.
I think that would be definitely the safest opening.
Oh,
Alto
no.
does not, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Dorboros, right? Mental into melee can
Yeah,
also be pretty
yeah.
solid as well. You get the toxic synergy.
Yeah, but I think what Alto is considering here is if he wants mentals in the first place, Xenorth is still available. And although Price got nerfed, that's still a lot of damage, and Siders could easily swap out for something like a Volfi or a Barnshi, or in fact, again, that Volarin, right? You can still compensate for that. That's what Alto's considering. Does he want to play safe with a Volarin Okama? I mean, that combo literally cannot go wrong. Or do you want to play a bit spicy with the Doroboros? And that's exactly what Alto decides to do. Leaves Bornshi out in the open as a third pick as well to match up with that Psychic Collaborator. And it also threatens to eliminate Size Munch early.
Yeah, so Dave Goblino, being the #1 seed, does have the counter pick and decides to go with a Volfi. So that's play going into Yukama. So Yukama not feeling too comfortable about being on the board right now. But we will see. We'll see how things play out. Both sides have pressure on each other. So let's see how the draft goes on. Dave banning the Barnchi there. So those... interesting. I guess it's another mental user, so no Psychic Collaborator whatsoever coming out from this Adorabora, so I can agree with Dave there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, getting rid of the other mental temp just means that the Adoraboros has one less ability to use, which is already quite impactful if you think about the options you have. And on top of that, I am looking forward to seeing how this Wolfie operates, because I've yet to see Wolfie be a committed support. It's mostly been, a little bit of spicy damage there, a little bit of spicy damage here. I've not yet to see quicksand or otherwise, just some sort of control for the enemy team, and you can synergize with that Volarin very easily. But again, we'll have to see. The only mental temp here will be Adoraboros, and the Grumper will also at least have some sort of impact that gets those win temps. But with Sideswipe and Scunch, this Grumper is not gonna have a good day.
Yeah, definitely. And with the Scunch, as you said, I'm interested enough. Why did he go into Grumper? Well, we're gonna find out. Maybe scared of the Volarin. If it's an aerobic Volarin, that's gonna be doing significant damage. But we are finally here. So the quarterfinals of the top 8 cut is just getting started. We have Alto representing Paradox and Dave Goblino representing Enigma. Who's going to be taking this game number 1? Of course, it is a best of 3, so things get a bit more interesting, a bit more strategic. Let's see what's going down.
Yeah, and I want to point out how badass Sagemans looks, baby!
Yeah.
What a monster! I mean, once they hit their 3rd Evo, I can't call him bad anymore. Swapped into the Volarant from the Okama, gonna try and set up the toxic damage immediately, and also avoid the plague. Instantly dodges that. Exhaust is not gonna do much, and the trap is set, quite literally. Handcuffs already out. Uppercut as well gonna swing, and that punishes the Volarant swap in, maybe predicting as much. So War Drum revealed on the Sagemans. Beta Burst though is going to punish his Sagemans as expected and obliterates his HP. This Adoraboros is a monster.
Yeah, monster indeed. The Sagemans potentially maybe attack speed because there is no HP on that Sagemans because a Beta Burst from a core special attack invested on Adoraboros. But when do you ever see 90% damage? Sagemans not looking too good so far. Man, that was heavy damage from a simple Beta Burst coming out from Alto's corner. And you know, sizable damage as well for Volarant. We did indeed see Sagemans and Wolfie going before both of their attacks, but Hyperkinetic's gonna be different this time. Is it enough? I think it definitely will be. So Sagemans going down just in the very second turn.
Absolutely, and Plague is gonna do absolutely nothing. This Wolfie is in a very compromised position. Traps both Tems allowing. Dave Goblino that counter pick, but the Sagemans elimination is quite devastating. The Beta Burst again doing at least 30% damage, but I did say the objective of his Adoraboros pick is to take out that Sagemans as early as possible. Now, I did not expect it to take 90%. I thought it'd take 55 or 60%, but that works too. Volarant comes out here just to pick off this Adoraboros. I'm sure Dave is not very happy.
Yeah, and I think Dave is trying to secure the kill anyhow on this Adoraboros. That is going to be the biggest threat for the Scunch on Dave's back line. So if you take care of Adoraboros, you're a little bit in the clear with the Scunch. Of course, Yukama always capable of doing a good amount of damage. Low Wally always capable of doing a good amount of damage to Scunch. But yeah, I think this is a perfect pick for Dave Goblino. These Feather Gatlings onto Adoraboros. I believe just 2 will get the job done. Let's see how much it's going to do here.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing a lot of damage. Adoraboros is guaranteed to be dead next turn. Aerobic Volarant back in business, baby. I love that temp. But look at that damage output because it's a doppelganger brooch. This is the new item used to counter Volarants. I mean, who's stronger than another Volarant? Am I right?
Yeah, definitely. I am loving that item placement coming out from these players. So that doppelganger, as you mentioned, so 50% more damage going into your opponent's Vola, and it's always usually a bit of that mirror match there, so that could be always the deciding factor. But you know, it is mitigated a bit by the Volarant's coat there, so I believe that's 20% reduction, so it balances out just a bit there.
Yeah, but what I'm concerned about is Alto going in with a Hyperkinetic Strike. It is already available. He is running anaerobic, but there has been no stacks of anaerobic, so special attack is that full apex in terms of damage. And again, I've yet to see a quicksand played by anybody, so especially in these moments where you need that speed advantage. But swap into the Scunch, Feather Gatling again, they get thrown out. Adoraboros will be sacked for this. Hyperkinetic Strike is also not used by Alto, so maybe has different plans in mind. Maybe another Feather Gatling, and that is exactly that. Doing a lot of damage as well, but it's gonna live at 5% HP. It only did 47.5, so Volarant alive, at least for now, and has a chance to swap in and Hyper later down the line.
Yeah, he hasn't used Hyperkinetic Strike, so you're definitely right. I think that's what Dave Goblino is considering here. There's no one on the board that currently has access to Cage except the Scunch, but he's not going to cage his own ally in. But yeah, that's an aerobic bird from Dave there, so +2 speed, so is going to be getting a decent amount of damage from something like a Hyperkinetic Strike. So I could be seeing a good switch out there. Who is the question? Maybe the Mo flank. Maybe the Wolfie back out. I mean, both are solid, but the Volarant cannot stay in unless he wants to just go out, you know, just swing in, get a good old Hyperkinetic Strike now perhaps, and then get a fresh new Temtem for the next turn.
Yeah, I mean the problem is, right, you can easily swap into that Grumper. Grumper will take that any day of the week, but of course it's a Scunch here as well, so you can easily punish that. And you don't necessarily want to take damage on your Ukama too early. There's still a lot of damage you could potentially do, so you might not want that. But of course, at this point in time, the Wally is completely uncontested. It's not like there's a Tem Dave Goblino can use to do a lot of returning damage on the Lawali, and Ukama will be eating whatever it is, but Dave reads it, Noxious Bomb is thrown. It actually goes on the Lawali, wants to take it out as soon as possible. Saw what a Lawali could do and did not want to deal with that by Hypoxia, is going to take out this Bowlerin. So that's currently a good trade in favor of Alto. We'll see if he can turn it around. Savage Suplex obliterates Ukama's HP pool. And that is another way to exhaust your opponent, ladies and gentlemen. And Wolfie may come in. If it's Burglary, steal something. And if it's Team Elusive, well, Tsunami won't work. Neither will, I believe, Toxic. No, Toxic Spore is not AoE.
Yeah, really strong stuff coming out from Dave's side. So keeping the aerobic burst, so making sure Noxious Bomb goes first and no damage touching his back line. So Moflank making an appearance here. We haven't seen him go on the offense. Let's see if he'll be going on the offense here in this turn 6.
Yeah, I mean, the best part about this is I think this is actually the strongest damage output combo for Dave at the moment, with the Dorboros dead and no mentals to back it up. Moflank can just, well, dare I say it, go on a rampage or gore something, or every other pun I could do here. But regardless, right, it does a lot of damage, has very high priority, could obliterate one of these Tems out of the next, into the next game, I should say. And the Scotch, well, Haitouchi is available, and Inner Spirit is also in the back pocket.
Yeah, and you know, Alto's backline's not looking too good to try to deal. Grumper comes in, but those Haitouchis. Alright, so let's see, Aquatic Whirlwind, either or is going to be taking solid damage. Okay, a little bit. Is that an umbrella, perhaps?
Ooh, perhaps there. I didn't see what it was, but Ninja Jutsu will take that kill on Ukama. And surprisingly, this Ninja Jutsu was quite slow, but what isn't slow is that Goring does decent damage on the Grumper. But the resistance badge will not be enough impact, and this Grumper will take that just fine. I mean, if you thought he was angry before, probably angrier now. You just can't tell, really.
Definitely. So let's see, Lawali comes back on the board. I think Dave, with these Tems still remaining, is looking like in a strong position. I mean, Grumper isn't going to be doing too much. Lawali still has some output potential with things like Hypoxia, but nothing too significant, nothing that's effective. And on the other side, it's just going to be just decent, strong damage. So we spoke about the Hypoxia. Is it going to be enough? Nope, not yet.
Double screen actually coming into play there, and Haitouchi will as well. Put the Grumper to sleep, no Thunderstrike, no Electric Storm, and no assistance as Rampage connects, and it does decent damage, as well as that synergy bonus doing even more. Luali on the bubble with 7.8% HP, and Bowlerin comes back on the field. But again, this is the highest damage output Dave could possibly hope for. This Moflank, I mean, showing how much of a badass it is paired with the Scunch.
Yeah, definitely looking good. He still has a one move that we've yet to see in the entire tournament. It's not going to come into play here, but maybe is used to clean up the Vol, and that is that execution. I've been wanting to see it. Oh, and goes for Hypoxia on the Moflank, thinking the Scutch was going to swap out there. But huge damage going on to Moflank. That's almost 70% right there in the Savage Suplex, cleaning up the Lawali. So the last Temtem to oh, there it is.
Oh, he tried Savage execution and it instantly gives the Bowlerin. What a disgusting combo. And you may wonder, wait, why did it kill? But I literally raised the percentage meter on how much damage is required before you one-shot something. In that case, it was at 51% and it's still obliterated the
yeah,
board.
and
So
execution,
you have to be careful.
It's only like 50 damage or so, right? So I'm impressed that it brought it, 12% down there. But yeah, it did the job done. Well calculated for Dave Goblino there. Let's see if Alto's gonna be making some adjustments. I mean, his Nagai's got banned again. It seems to be Dave Goblino's strategy. And
The
yeah,
great beast.
yeah, Alto
Sorry, go ahead.
eyeing that Moflink. I don't blame him. I feel like Moflink was the MVP of that game one there. I don't think he has to worry about size much whatsoever after it being eliminating so fast.
Yeah. I mean, the only concern I have for Alto though is if he does do that, his mental temp will be in crystal range, and although we don't see it very often nowadays, the mix and the Zenith are still available, which puts Alto in this position where it's like, I don't know, do I let mental temp through? And if you look at Alto's team, it's not like he has a counter to crystal temp right now. Aside from, of course, Grumper perhaps, maybe if the Wolfie gets 2 turns on the field, but aside from that, you're kind of lacking that 2 times damage to really put that in Dave's face. So he has some options here. I doubt Dave will go with Size Munch again, because that's a bit rough.
Yeah, that was a bit too rough. I don't think Dave is considering that as well. So let's see what he has in mind. So Alto does pick up the Doughboros. He likes what he sees. There's a lot of neutral temtems, 1 melee temtem. So Doughboros, a solid pickup for Alto. Now, how do you counter this? He does have Barnchy. He does have the aerobic Bowlerin. That we saw 2 Feather Gatlings was enough to bring it down. But you know, he guaranteed the kill on Adorables with those plagues triggering that cage. But he's going with a different game plan here. He wants to just Crystal Spike. That is the game plan when you're playing Zenith. I believe Blue, he's still the hardest hitting Crystal Spiker currently with the Channeler trait, right?
Yes. Yes, he's always has been on base level, been the strongest Crystal Spiker, so nothing's really changed here except the stamina cost. And of course, Grumper in the opening, surprising, but again, Stone Ball is decent, and it also, you can Thunderstrike Bowlerin out of the game, right? So now no longer Sidemunts on the field, Grumper is free to roam because the Crystal Spike's not going to do anything to him. Bowlerin's going to do okay damage to Grumper, but Grumper will do something if Dave does not reply. And also, with that such an early pick, no swap in for the Barnchy, the melee Tems will be okay, but the Adoraboros will then have an opportunity to do Beta Burst, and we saw how much damage that did. And again, the only reason Alto got so dominated by those melee and neutral Tems was because there was a lack of mental Tems, right? And you see, again, 3 out of the 8 Tems on Alto's team is mental. He's relying heavily on these psychic collaborators, these Psy Surges, these Beta Bursts to neutralize, quite literally, these Tems. So right now, we'll see how he plays this out.
Yeah, Dave, considering again removing those mental allies so you could limit, so you could take away essentially that big powerful psychic collaborator. But you know, already a different picture being painted here in terms of game 2. Wolfie was banned, so that was a key factor into Dave's win. I want to say the double cage round 1 turn 2. That kept the Doughboros in there, making it such an easy kill for his boulder in there. So without that plague, without the exhaustion going into cage there, that's gonna be a bit of a different story. There's no Temtem right now except Scunch perhaps with the cage. So you know, it's not gonna be as easy as before. Those guaranteed kills were a bit too nice for Dave. So gonna be keeping him on his toes to push a little bit harder. So we'll see if it's gonna do. And he's kind of looking at Size Munch again.
I was gonna say, Dave also banned the opposing Wolfie. Does not want to deal with any perpetuals potentially, or at least just that decent, very obnoxious Tem that is extremely playable in any composition. Dave, we'll see what his last pick is. I mean, either pick here is kind of scary with the Grumper still available, and of course mental Tem, but it's all about picking your poison here for Dave, and I think Barnchy's the slightly less painful poison, but he might try and greed the Size Munch. So Barnchy, yeah, the less painful poison, because at least you can eliminate the Grumper quite quickly if he does not respond properly. But that leaves Alto with a very amazing pick selection actually, either a Bowlerin or an Ukama. Decides on the Ukama, so no direct tank except Lowali for Alto. We'll see if he can bring this back, I believe, against
yeah.
him.
So here we go. This is game number 2. A little bit of a do or die situation for Alto. He has to get the victory here, or else Dave will be moving forward into our semifinals. So let's see, as you said, Blue, if he could bring things back around. He made some adjustments already, getting rid of that Wolfie in that picks and bans. So let's take a look, keeping things rather standard. We did confirm that Dave had an aerobic bird, so these thunder strikes are still going to be doing a decent amount if he wants to do so. But as you said, Blue, Grumper does have access to Stone Ball, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it does have access to Stone Ball, I believe. I can also double check that eventually, but regardless, the Ouroboros will be swapped out. Does not want any damage going that way. Ukama will be coming in just to eat that Crystal Spike. I mean, this is the one few times you will see Crystal Spikes drop to Ukama to almost 100%. But on top of Noxious Bomb, will actually clear out the Ukama immediately. Alto loses a Tem instantly in this fight. Now the opposite day occurs. We'll see if this electric thunder strike will compensate, and it does not. Boloran drops to dangerous levels, but not dangerous enough to really put Dave on the back foot.
Yeah, and as you said, that Aero Bird getting so damaged from that Thunder Strike, but huge read, realizing, hey, if I double up into this, either Lowali's getting that Noxious Bomb or Ukama's getting that Noxious Bomb. So really good understanding for Dave there. Gonna be taking care of Ukama before it even gets off any move in this whole game. So already Dave Goblino with a big momentum swing in as early as turn 1.
Yeah, right now, Alto in a bit of trouble here. I did confirm Stone Ball is not on Grumper. It has to be Earthbreaker, which is one of the only Earth moves he can use. Petrify is also available, but just doesn't do as much damage. And we see this loop again, and I'm not sure how to deal with this. Crystal Spike deals decent damage on top of Noxious Bomb. Luckily, the Lowali is tankier, so might survive, but might is really not good enough in certain situations like these ones. Hypoxia gonna do decent damage on Generith, and Electric Storm will follow. And luckily, Grumper has enough stamina to keep this going. Will shut down the Valoran, but already you can see the difference in damage dealt. Dave was on his first 210.
Yeah, insane. And yeah, Lowali actually with the Tuckwa Mass might have been that saving grace, keeping him from going down from that Noxious Bomb. So yeah, Lowali was able to get off unattacked there. Can he get off one more? I don't think so, as we saw the Crystal Spike did indeed outspeed the Lowali. So a bit of a danger zone. It's a lose-lose. It's a bit of a checkmate already. There's 2 mental temtems in the back line. It's essentially a free Crystal Spike. So I think Alto's just gonna bite the bullet on the Lowali and let it go down here, because I don't think Barnchi or Ouroboros wants to be eating that Crystal Spike. So Lowali should be going down here. And as we just saw, the Scunch hit the board. What is his 0 hold melee attacks? I gotta look at that, because I guess he has P-Jab if he wanted to. Just a P-Jab onto the Grumper.
Martial Strike is also potentially perfect. Yeah, Perfect Jab, Martial Strike are 2 good ones. I'm assuming the kit does contain Inner Spirit, Ninja Jutsu, Savage Suplex, and Perfect Jab or Haito Uchi.
Yeah,
so,
Haito Uchi for a fact, as we saw it go on Grumper the previous game.
The neutral abilities are definitely Ninja Jutsu and Savage Suplex. The question is if it has P-Jab or Inner Spirit or Martial Strike. We'll see. Zenareth is swapped out here, does not want to use it anymore, but uses Barnchi to face check a Grumper, maybe assuming Grumper will get swapped out. Might be an amazing read if Dave gets this correctly, because Ouroboros comes in to maybe try and do something, but Grumper stays in. This Barnchi is in the death zone, but no, but Shao's coming in, so Barnchi eats it perfectly. That read was so good that every possibility was accounted for except for the most obvious, well, not for the, except for the lightning play, and the lightning play never comes out. I mean, you expect Grumper to do a lightning move, but it doesn't. And Dave reads that perfectly.
Yeah, super perfect. So thinking in hindsight now, it makes total sense. Zenareth actually so effective against that backline, the Barnchi, the Ouroboros, so you want to keep it safe. The Mud Shower probably would have done enough to take it down, so wants to keep Zenareth safe, as it is basically his win condition once Grumper and Lowali go down, of course. So really good play coming out from Dave. So let's see what these guys can keep going. Adoraboros staring down a Scunch. That is a scary thing to see. If you guys know anything, that's a neutral melee. So that is 4x damage taken from any mental attack. We just saw how much Beta Burst did on a Size Munch. That Scunch will be going down super fast. To see if Dave is going to be considering this.
Absolutely, Grumper is getting swapped out here. Luwali will be taking whatever damage that comes, but it's Adoraboros that's being focused down here. Tornado will do a lot of damage, and it looks like Scotch has
Ninja,
left,
maybe.
So yeah, maybe Savage. Oh, Haito Uchi actually trying to pick off the Grumper, but Luwali will be taking that instead, which is a decent choice because Beta Burst will surely put this Scunch in the grave. We've already seen how it does as Sidemon, so yes, Scunch will follow as well. So trade 1-for-1, again still favoring Dave here, as Zenarith will clean up the Adoraboros and the Barnshi in the back. It's up to the Grumper to really deal with this Barnshi and somehow deal with the Zenarith. He does have Mud Shower, of course, so that is an option as well. So
yeah, I mean, taking down the Scunch was huge for Alto, so well played. Understanding Grumper is quite slow, so Hideuchi was definitely going to be outspeeding it. Really well played for Alto, retreating the Grumper there, and now he has solid damage. We just saw the Mud Shower. That is a zero turn or zero hold move, so could deploy it here, as well as the Thunder Strike, and Barnshi does not want to be taking any of that. He does have Electrical Storm, and Adoraboros does have access to Inner Spirit if he is running that moveset on his Adoraboros. So he has the pressure. Alto has the pressure right now, but of course Dave with the Crystal Spike, the Tornadoes, the Hypoxia, Adoraboros does not want to be here at all because those are going to be going first.
yep. Adoraboros is not a very fast Tem. A swap in potentially could be the Barnshi just to eat it. Personally, I would think the Barnshi would be a better sack than the Adoraboros here, as Adoraboros does a lot of damage onto the move flank as well in the back pocket, and Barnshi just doesn't do the same. It does do some decent damage, but I would think Adoraboros would be a better safe play, keeping it later down the line. I'm not sure what Dave wants to do here in particular. Swapping out the Barnshi for the move flank would be okay. Eat that Thunder Strike if that does come that way, but also may consider just trying to double up on the Adoraboros, just to see how much damage it can do.
Yeah, quite the turn here. Pretty complicated. I mean, Barnshi, if it has access to Beta Burst here, it can still check the Mo flank. It's gonna be coming out here, so Zenarith still trying to hold on to that win or Dave trying to hold on to that win condition Zenarith. So Hypoxia does outspeed. Of course, Adoraboros does drop. Let's see if he read the Mud Showers on the Zenarith, or is this an Electrical Storm to try to clean up the Barnshi? Okay, so Thunder Strike connecting, and that's 4x damage. A lot of 4x damage in this game.
Absolutely, a lot of insta-gives playable for both players, and so just straight up trades. And now we go down to the final two attempts for both players. The slight favor going the way, I would say, for Alto here. Execution is not available for the move flank, not because it's not playable, but because it won't do enough.
I don't know. I kind of disagree. The Crystal Spike is going to be coming out. Let's see how much this Barnshi does. Oh, not anything. Going down before being able to get off anything. The Mud Showers, is it enough for 45? Yes, it is. So, Blue, we got ourselves a 1v1 Grumper with no stamina, but with a Sweatband. Nice. We didn't even catch that. So, Sweatband Grumper versus Moflank. Who is going to be getting the better of who? I believe, does Moflank? Yeah, no, I don't think he has access to any melee moves. Base jump, I've never seen that move. There we go.
Mud Shower as well, just do as much damage as possible. Remember, Grumper can rest, but unfortunately missed that opportunity there, I would say. But we'll have to see. Goring drops his execution range. It's up to the Grumper how he wants to play this. Now another Mud Shower, not enough damage here. Alto out of options, hoping Thunder Strike will kill the Moflank here, and it does! It kicks it out! Grumper takes the W! And all the haters in chat rejoice.
Yeah, Alto squeezing. I
wow.
actually thought Moflink was gonna get the job done, but Thunderstrike being a
He may
beast.
have underestimated Grumper there a little bit, and I don't blame him, right? As this tournament progressed, a lot of people were like, actually, Grumper's not that good. Actually, Grumper's not doing that much. But I'm sure he's gonna respect how much damage the Grumper can do now. Yes, it goes down quite quickly, but that burst damage is horrifying to match up against. And it reminds me of a good old little crystal temp that used to do that before nerfs. So you know, it's not gone. So those sort of temps that will just obliterate other typings, you just have to be careful. You can't underestimate those.
Yeah, so same strategy going into game 3. The Nagats will be banned, but here it goes. Dave does get the Volphy there. So Alto going with the standard openings, that Volcama opening, but both of these Tems, we saw what went down. 3 prio moves on both of Dave's Tems, so Yukama is most likely looking at a swap out here.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is what I was concerned about. Dave allowing Alto allowing Dave to get his Volphian means that Dave doesn't have to worry about the opponent getting that Volphy as well. So Alto now shut down of again his main damage output aside from that Grumper, and I'm sure Dave has more than enough melee attempts to get rid of Grumper as soon as possible if Alto is unable to compensate.
Alright, so does secure the Doorborals. He needs some mental damage. Of course, those are two neutral types with the melee in the back line for Dave, so he needs that mental damage. And Dave trying to counter the Doorborals. We saw the Hypoxias does indeed outspeed a Doorborals in the previous game, so of course there will be outspeeding it in these games. Alright, so both players have access to their Volphy, and Grumper, the MVP of game 2, does get picked up for Alto.
Ooh, Dave is considering side punch here, and I know exactly why. He thinks that if it comes down to it, side punch will beat Grumper, and that's just guaranteed. But again, the problem here is that you don't consider that at all. You have to consider the overall agenda here. Does Moflank do more than side punch? And I do really think that Moflank will do more in the long run for Dave, but he's concerned, right? Because you can use Side Munch to just get rid of that, and right now only Scunch can insta give, and yeah, so he goes Side Munch. He wants to make sure if those shenanigans happen again, he's not gonna lose the 1v1.
Yeah. But now it's a bit riskier going up against the world, but we're gonna find out how the cookie's gonna crumble here in game number 3. As we said, Yukama feeling a bit too pressured. A Crystal Spike followed by a Plague. I'm pretty certain that's gonna insta give it there. Crystal Spike just really heavy, and then Plague is actually effective damage on Yukama. If it doesn't go down, it's gonna be dangerously close. The question is, but let's try to see what can swap in there to eat those 2 attacks, perhaps.
Yeah, this Cedrus is definitely swapping out. I'm not sure about Volphy. Volphy is fine here. Volphy can take it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if anything, Barchi's swapping. Yeah, that doesn't feel nice as well. Like, I don't know what Dave swaps in here. He might just have to eat the combo. It's not like he can do anything about it. He is really thinking about this. So is Alto, in fact. He's trying to figure out what he wants to do here. If anything, you could try and kill Volphy ASAP, but Volphy Plague is going to be dangerous on Ukama. We might see the Ukama disappear quite instantly. Alto realizes that, decides no, he's not going to use Water Cannon, and will swap in a Volphy. So a semi-mirror match, so to speak. Crystal Spike straight up on the Volphy, of course, but half damage eaten very nicely as well. So trades will come out here. So Plague doing a lot of damage. So that Volphy getting not a very warm welcome and is handcuffed onto the field as well. Noxious Bomb going to get thrown out here. Will do full damage onto the opposing Volphy, but definitely not as much as the current situation for Alto. His Volphy is low.
Yeah, but that was going to be anything in the back line. The Plague was going to do effective damage onto Grumper if that was it, and Grumper might be the MVP, so Volphy was the answer, or was the answer for that first turn. And yeah, there we go. Also setting up this Volan that's +1 special defense so far. So Zenith, actually the entire three of Dave's Temtems are special attack focus. So just the Scunch and the Size Munch will be that physical pressure coming out from Dave's side. But as you said, Blue, Wolfie with that handcuff trapping in Alto's Wolfie. Is there a move? Yeah, I was about to say Zenith is not looking too good here, so Barnchy gets replaced for Zenith gets replaced for the Barnchy, and it's a double swap coming out from Dave's side.
Oh, trying to get rid of this Wolfie one way or another, and Size Munch is a good way to do that. He would have been taking a lot of plague damage if that Wolfie went the right way, but fortunately does not go the way he wants. And look at that, how much damage Generous would have taken. Barnchy already dropped low, and it's in fact air specialist because it is taking debuffs, so that'll be interesting to see. Bush is now available for the side of Alto as well. Could swap in Grumper to get that Bush buff, but that's a bit too risky at this point in time, I think.
Yeah, his Volan's still looking solid. It's still at 100%. The stamina's still there. So a solid Noxious Bomb just to try to end the Barnchy here. Not too bad. It is trapped, so try to get it. But before the Barnchy goes down, gets that 3 prio Tornado going. The special defense gonna keep it pretty safe there.
Yeah, the decent damage on the Volan. Uppercut as well, straight into the Wolfie. Wolfie will get picked off. Does not get a chance to move. May have actually in fact tried to bush, but did not work out in the end. Noxious Bomb gonna try and secure the kill on the Barnchy, succeed. So at least trades 1 for 1. The Size Munch now in a bit of a more compromised position. Remember, Lawali's not here for Dave, and there's a very, very nasty Adoraboros in the back pocket.
Yeah, we just saw it did 90% damage. But yeah, I think just it's as clear as day. That handcuff and Wolfie combo is so oppressive. Just caging with the 3 prio move, and you add damage on top of that. Is such a good interaction going on for these players. It's basically confirmed kills, right? We saw the confirmed kill on Alto's Wolfie. We saw the confirmed kill on Dave Goblino's Barnchy.
Absolutely. And again, the unfortunate part about Wolfie is that he doesn't stay on the board too long, just because you either get picked off quite fast because of your minimized HP pool, or well, because you get focused down. And speaking of focused down, Wolfie might get a face full of it if he's not careful. And also, Alto, I believe, will have water cannon for the Size Munch, and I think that's the objective here, is to kill off the Size Munch as soon as possible.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Adoraboros online, and you know, Adoraboros didn't seem too threatened. Maybe he was thinking Dave was too simple to switch in the Zenith for that for the Barnchy slot, so playing it a bit safer. And Dim Max, so just solid 80%, I believe. Plus
not even that.
Oh,
Blake will shut it down though. So uses Dim Max, attempts to use that new move. I believe, if I'm not crazy. What does Dimmac do? It is
it does neutral damage to anything, even if it's under effective or anything, and just does a flat even 80%. But that 3 prio move, you Yukama swapped out the first turn, so Aquatic Whirlwind I believe wasn't online there, but maybe Wolfie being a bit faster regardless, gonna get the confirmed kill onto Alto, so looking a bit dire there. 4 Temtems remaining for Dave, 3 Temtems remaining for Alto. He still has the Scunch and the Size Munch to check the Grumper in the back. This is going to be a bit rough. Adoraboros has to live to try to clean up these mental Tems, or sorry, the melee Tems.
Yeah, but the problem now is that Adoraboros is in fact trapped in here, and Volan is getting low quite quickly. The Feather Gatling will get thrown out onto the Wolfie. Wants to take that out with opportunity to strike down the line. Beta Burst will not kill the Size Munch, but actually goes on the Wolfie. Wants to pick that off as soon as possible. It's not enough. Alto now in a very compromised position where the Size Munch could easily just obliterate this Volan to the next game. And this Wolfie still alive, gets another hit off as well, could get swapped out for the Zenith. Adoraboros now trapped in with Goliath monsters. We'll see what it can do.
Yeah, he definitely thought that Beta Burst would get rid of the Wolfie, but surviving by the smallest margins, 2% remaining. So not going to be able to get off a final attack if it chooses to do so. with that 3-power plague. Of course, you could get a hyperkinetic strike from the Volran. That's going to secure the kill. So we'll see what these players want to do. But Hyper not going to be doing enough. It's just trying to close out the Volphy if it wants to stay in. It's almost necessary. I don't think you want another Tem to get trapped like Volran. But you have to overexert to do so.
Yeah, it's been a fortunate situation. Exhaustion will catch up on the Volran. Uppercut as well. So Volran doesn't even get the chance to move. This is so bad. Grumper is now exposed. And remember, you can't 1v1. There's too many melee Tems at this point. Beta Burst will not kill Side Punch in one hit, but gets damn close. And now Grumper has to do something, but it's not the fastest Tem in the world. And now just Resignation. Alto loses too many Tems, bleeds out.
Yeah, as you said, Blue, Resignation
was for an interesting pairing. I've theory crafted Size Munch plus Nagaise. I've theory crafted Tortonite with Nagaise. I've never theory crafted Size Munch and Tortonite on the same team. But Golld's here, so I guess I'm wrong somewhere. We'll see what he's doing with this composition.
Yeah, I would love to see it. We haven't seen Tortonite really pop off anywhere in this tournament, so I'd love to see it. But J-Dragon going with the standard opening, Mashuk, Volran, you can never go wrong with that opening. Let's see what Gold's doing. Maybe thinking about the same, just a good old P-Jab Volran. Did we even get a new patch? We'll see though.
I mean, it's an oldie but goldie. But now that I think about it, I think that opening is kind of bad in the new meta. I'm not gonna lie, it's too slow. Especially with these traps, these debuffs, these exhausts, these negative effects, you can't really afford to play slow. At least in the meta nowadays. But we'll see. Golld goes for it anyway, and in fact, the Dragon goes for it anyway. So we might see just that, just some slow tickle, hit hard. But the thing is, Golld is in favor of those long, dragged out fights because Tortonite has Extinction. Or not Extinction, but rather has Doom.
Yeah, the Doom. I believe Tortonite's Garden. So really cool effect there. I think it's a 2-turn hold, right? It seems a little bit busted for just a 1-turn hold. But I could confirm.
Yeah. Again, at this point, the reason why I never considered Tortonite and Size Munch on the same team is really just the fact that using these starter Tems is like running an ace, right? I mean, Nagaise is the biggest example of a god tier ace that you would love to run. Obviously, we see it permaban nowadays. But the fact is that I'm not really sure that these Tems have the capacity. Like for instance, instead of Tortonite, I would rather run, let's say, a Mix or a Zenareth, right? Or if I wanted to run Size Munch, I would be running a Stunch with it, a Moflight with it, like we see with Dave Goblino. And when we run Nagaise, we want more mental time. So again, Size Munch and Tortonite are a bit of the opposite sides of the spectrum. They don't really work well together, and that's why I don't really see them working as well together. But again, Golld is here for a reason, and I'm casting for a reason. So we'll see.
Yeah, this player is definitely better. So let's see. I mean, I would love to see Tortonite, but doesn't really see too much potential there. Not going to be getting off too much effective damage. I mean, Tuvon special defense aren't the greatest. If that's an aerobic bird, maybe those crystal spikes. But Mashuk looking a bit more solid overall. Gets effective damage onto Tuvon and to Rock. But we're going to get all those answers right here, right now. We are entering our semifinals, best of 3 series. J-Dragon versus Golld. Who is moving forward into the finals? Let's find out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get this underway.
Let's
go straight up.
Oh, and interesting enough, it is an aerobic Volran, and both of them are with aerobic Volran. So no P-Jab going first. Interesting.
Already a crazy matchup we have here. Plus, just some casual trades and perfect jabs after the Feather Gatling. But Urushiol actually, that's gonna hit harder.
Yeah, so Skunch almost good as dead. One more Feather Gatling into Skunch's face. That's gonna be dropping him dead, adding into account all those poison ticks. But Golld deciding to hit both sides. So Feather Gatling onto Mashuk, and then just a solid P-Jab onto Squawk over here. Which is the Volrin, of course.
Yeah, like, at this point, Golld does have the damage advantage in terms of how much the minus defense on the Volrin or Jade Dragons. But right now, that Urushiol gonna do a lot of ticking. Hyperkinetic Strike will also put Skunch into lethal range potentially. And with both aerobics, I wouldn't be surprised if we just traded hypers here. And both players swapped.
Yeah, well, fortunately for J-Dragon, one of them has turbo choreography, but the hyper, as you mentioned, Blue, is it enough?
Ooh.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Without letting Skunch get off anything. Hyper Connect Strike from those aerobic birds just way too strong, and we're gonna get a Blizzard.
Absolutely, that's the first time I've actually seen Blizzard used on an aerobic bowler end. That's a very nice move. Mashuk drops a bit low, but P-Jab now here. I'm not sure how much response that will get, because now I'm pretty sure Jade Dragon can't really sit here and take that HKS now. His bowler end is now -2 special defense versus right now Golld's bowler end, which is also aerobic and has Hyperkinetic Strike available. Someone's gonna get one shot here, and it's definitely not Golld's bowler end at the moment.
Yeah, very true. Very true, Blue. So Hyperkinetic Strike with that minus special defense 2, and then Mashuk just hanging out at 40% health. A Hyperkinetic Strike is definitely gonna instant give both of those 2 temps. So Jade Dragon may be considering a double swap out here. Let's see what he has in the back line. So he has the 2 Vine, he has Potato, and the 2 Rock. I mean, Potato doesn't want to catch that hyperkinetic. He wants the 2 Vine. That is the best targets right now to try to catch a hyper.
Ooh, he actually does swap in Noxolotl here just to contest the Surdif a little bit. The Mashuk is swapped in as expected for the 2 Vine. Assuming Hyperkinetic Strike will go on the Mashuk, I think that's a mistake here. HKS might be going onto the Noxolotl, and Richard will cut the Noxolotl's HP into half, or more so than that. Almost kills it straight up. The Transput by the Noxolotl gives it defenses and will give it regeneration, but for how long?
The physical damage. Oh man. So that is, yeah, as you said, Blue. So Jade Dragon thinking the hyper was going into Mashuk, bringing out 2 Vine in that spot, but Golld making the 5-head read, going into the aerobic Volrin instead. So the double going to take down Potato without him doing anything for that turn or for the remainder of the game.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if 2 Vine ate that, he would have also probably died. So it's
no way. A hyperkinetic half damage, and then Surnif with the high defense on 2 Vine. There's no way. No, it would have done damage, but I don't think 100% damage.
Yeah, but yeah, regardless, I think the idea was to, I guess, keep the 2 Vine alive. But you've given Golld here the Tem advantage back, right? You sort of want to keep that on your position as much as possible, and special defense being low on 2 Vine means that it's available for this mix to come in, Crystal Spike it to death. Yes, Crystal Plume Gatling does also the same to the mix, but this 2 Vine is gonna have to show why he was chosen to stay alive here, because this Volrin is not leaving. No, it is staying for the side of Golld.
Yeah,
he wants to sack.
Looks like everything's saying so. Blizzard preserving that stamina, bringing Jade Dragon into potentially kill range from this water current lily. I think it's gonna be enough. So this combo here, the Surnif and the Volrin just going off here. Of course, it comes at the cost of the Volrin with the CPG coming out. So 1-for-1 trade, but that's already 2 temtems down. Oh, actually no, 2 temtems down on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, trading 1-for-1 there again, because it was a Vola trade, it's much harder to tell which important that was. But now look at this. This is, I mean, if Surnif Well, two Vine and Surdif are green, so we basically have Mashuk plus a green temp that does attack on both sides. And I'm sure Golld is running Colossity unless I miss settling.
Yeah, we didn't see anything attack into it, but I might have missed settling too. But you know, Golld is a fan of settling, so if I wouldn't put it past him to run settling here. So Turbo Choreography, getting that speed advantage on his 10. But here we go. So Shy Shield coming through, trying to protect from these physical techniques coming out from J Dragon. A solid uppercut, over 30% damage. Oh, going into the Surnif here.
Yeah, fortunately that did very little damage. I'm surprised he did not try for the Mashuk, at least take that out, because your defenses are high on the 2-1 as we have already stated, right? So you would want to deal with the ×2, but now in a position where this is incredibly dangerous. I mean, damn if you do, damn if you don't. The Surnif is getting stronger and stronger by the minute, so once I take it out as soon as possible, drops to 50% damage, but HP, but what I'm really gonna get thrown out here. That's a lot of stamina expended, but 2-1 is taking so much damage, so much punishment, it might just be worth it. Golld still has Mix to use, but J Dragon still also has Turok in the back pocket, so I don't know. He wants to take out Surdif just so Turok has a chance, but I don't think he's gonna get there.
Yeah, I mean, Turok should have some earth techniques to try to do effective damage onto the Mix there. But yeah, Mix kind of handles the Mashuk and the 2-Vine if it does not go down here. It's looking like Golld pulling a bit ahead here. The Sweatband settling Surnif being so powerful. And yeah, Jay focusing down the Surnif first, potentially. I mean, I understand it because it is the biggest threat on the board, but sometimes it seems a bit too tanky. I mean, it could revitalize again, or it could revitalize here, and then all that damage, perhaps a bit for nothing.
If I remember correctly, the Feather Gatling was slower than Perfect Jab, so it has to be Crystal Plume Gatling here, I think. It's just a really rough position. Mashuk's gonna swap out, so Golld thinks that Surdif will do enough damage. Mix will be setting up for the next turn, and we'll see what happens. Perfect Jab again. We'll see Crystal Plume Gatling is enough, but Water Cannon Lily goes first. No, CPG is gonna get fired out. Bra bra bra. Surdif is not gonna die, and 2-Vine sacrifices his life for that attempt. Surdif just heals as well. This is such a rough position.
Yeah, definitely, and it would have been pretty five had, you know, hindsight always 2020, but a perfect jab CPG onto Mix slot would have actually killed it there. But of course, hindsight 2020. So going into the Surnif thinking that extra minus defense was gonna be enough to get the job done, but nope, 2-Vine going down without anything to show for it, except for, you know, just solid damage. But yeah, the last two Temtems remaining, a Mashuk and a Turok staring down the remainder of Golld's team. I think Golld with 100% HP Mashuk, that's going to be solid against the Turok. So I do think Golld is going to be taking game number one.
Yeah, boy, the Turok has way too many weaknesses. Uppercut again, trying to do it, but it's not enough. Heck, on top of that, Turok tried to save stamina, but it's not gonna save your life if this kills, and no it doesn't. Drops it low. Surdif overexerts for that, but I'm sure 100% Golld does not mind. Its energy manipulation throws a wrench into this Mashuk's plans as well. Speaking of Mashuk, comes out for the side of Golld.
Yeah, so a solid uppercut from Mashuk. There's no sequence of moves that J Dragon can do to insta-give both of these Tems on Golld's board. And on the contrary, Golld's two moves will insta-give both of J Dragon. So you get the solid PJEP on Mix, but anything, a Crystal Spike, a Energy Manipulation will be enough. So Mashuk goes down, and I'm assuming just a solid uppercut will be ending Turok, and there it goes. So Turok down for the count. That means Golld will be taking game number one here in our semifinals. So GG, Golld getting a game up.
We'll see how he retaliates. It's all. I mean, this is why it's a best of three, right? You get the opportunity to try again.
Yeah, try again, make a little bit of different decisions in terms of picks and bans, make a little bit of different decisions in terms of that play style, try to catch your opponent a little bit off guard. But let's see what J Dragon is thinking. He now has the counter pick here. So it looks like Kinu was the first ban. Maybe J Dragon is also Kinu for Kinu here. I don't disagree. I mean, Kinu is on top of the everyone's tier list for a reason.
Yeah.
But he kind of has answers to it. So maybe J Dragon thinking, okay, so trying things a little bit different here. Gonna be gunning down the Skunch.
Yeah, the Skunch is removed by J Dragon. And it leaves Golld with the Side Wrench and the Torch Knight. And I dare say that's pretty okay opening, I would say, right? So that, of course, the spikes into a punch is nothing to scoff at. But Torch Knight has way too many threats. Right now, J Dragon can pick up second. And the Volarant as well already does some decent damage. Torch Knight's HP, I need to check. How high is it? I think it's not that high, actually.
So we might be seeing Torch Knight for one of the first times here in this tournament. Is Gold considering, okay, maybe going with the other starter Evo? I mean, not too bad. There's no mental damage except for that narco hit from Potato, the Noxalato on Jay's team. So Seismuch not as threatened as we previously saw with those crazy beta bursts from Adoraboros. So Seismuch might be doing more work and actually decides to go with the Wolfie. Isn't Seismuch really strong against it?
Well, you have to consider as well, because Seismuch is Earth, the nature attack of flame does double damage. So they in fact do, they actually they do that the traditional Saipat Kinu dance where they do 50% damage on each other and then we just play ball from there. Unfortunately, press F for Saipat. We've not seen him the entire tournament. He's one of the only Tems I have not seen, which blows my mind. I thought someone would run.
I completely agree with you, Blue. I thought with the melee, with the toxic, with the water coverage, I thought we would see more Saipats too, but no one feeling the same. So a little bit of F's for Saipat, but let's see what these temtems that these players did bring are gonna be able to do. So Noxalato and Wimplum get picked up for J Dragon's third and fourth tem.
Yeah, I mean, Mix gonna get picked up as well. And the Noxalato, of course, for J Dragon. 2 Vines is the last pick. We'll see if J Dragon can break this back or if Golld can shut this out.
Yeah, Golld wanting to shut it out in a 2-0 fashion. Let's see if J Dragon's gonna make it easy or hard for Golld here. Golld is up 1 game. And you know, I actually haven't seen Seismuch from the back here because I don't have a Seismuch yet, so this is pretty cool. I've never seen his tail. A little bit off topic, but let's get back to the game. So, as you said, Blue, as you said, so Plague is effective into Seismuch and as well as those uppercuts, so feeling a little too pressured is going to be swapping out into Mix. Do we get into Puppet Master range? Let's find out.
But the Gatling trade, as per usual, both Aerobic Volarants will do a lot of damage. God, I love the fact that Aerobic is back in the meta. Feather Gatling will be thrown out for the side of J Dragon as well. So a trade for trade, pound for pound. It looks like J Dragon will win that one. Has more attack TV. Plague as well. Gonna go what's supposed to be the side switch, but goes on the Mix, of course. So, unfortunately, now that the Mix is trapped in, I say that, but I forgot. Puppet Master, it does not matter.
And I think Floof here has access to Earth AoE, if I could remember correctly.
Yes, he is Darude Sandstorm. In which, again, the Wolfie can do a lot, well, I say a lot, but a decent damage with the Sandstorm, of course. But we'll have to see how J Dragon plays this. Will be paired with that Wimplum. We might see a quick for the first time here. Crystal Spike's gonna get thrown out here, as well as the Blizzard to the Wolfie. Wolfie will take that perfectly fine. So just a little bit of pressure damage from the side of Golld here. Doesn't even up, but Dose Vortex actually comes out here. What's the one shot?
Oh, this should. Oh!
oh sorry, the Volphy gets that one shot clear, and that trap that Golld tried to outplay was sprung and perfectly shot.
Yeah, and something I just want to note, the Wimplump on J-Dragon does have that double screen, so taking less damage from double typing like the mix mental crystal, so not doing as much as a crystal spike would usually do, but it's just 10%, so not too bad. But man, oh man, as you said, Blue, that does Vortex closing out the mix. That means Size Munch, oh no, never mind.
Yeah. The Size Munch is still in a very compromised position here for the side of Golld. Hyperkinetic Strike is gonna get thrown out here, trying to kill the Volphy as fast as possible. Gonna take out that little very obnoxious fox, trying to do shenanigans. Tornado will be thrown out, and this is Aerobic's biggest weakness. Its own defense, it's gone! You cannot just expose your Bullet and it will get punished. Golld will lose it immediately. Water Cunningly will shut down the
Easy.
no, it doesn't go on the Volphy, it goes in the Wimplump, and it also trades just a lot of one-shot cannons playing.
Yeah, so much damage coming out this turn, and as you said, so much just going down. And we thought it would go into Floof here, but yeah, the Wimplump a little bit more healthy. The Watercun Lily, it depends. So Wimplump was indeed faster, the 3-power move versus the 3-power move. Either way, they both went down that turn, so let's see what they have going forward. Size Munch comes back to the board. The Aerobic Bird for J-Dragon comes back as well. We're
most likely going to see a Noxious Bomb into Hyperkinetic Strike on this Surneef. The Surneef is just trapped for 2 more turns. J-Dragon can't afford to trade like that, and Golld has no response. I mean, Tuvine is still in the back. Volphy is going to get another hit off for sure here. Just because it's so fast. So I'm not sure what Golld wants to do. Swap out for J-Dragon, puts in the Tuvine, very brave, into a Size Munch.
Good play there.
Ooh, Toxic Plume actually reduces attack. These two Temtems are both attack based, so that's quite massive.
Yeah, definitely.
Still does damage.
33% reduction, so Heat Up trying to bring that back around, so 100% increase. So essentially nullifying that -1 defense, so just a solid 50% increase for Size Munch there. But Surneef, you know, it does have settling trait, so little by little stays on the board, gonna be bringing that back, that minus attack back around.
I actually forgot that Size Munch learns Heat Up. That's actually quite scary. Oh boy.
Yeah, and it pulled it off. So I mean, it didn't get all the way the value, of course, but still 50% increase in damage. Size Munch looks like a beast. The Tuvine not feeling too safe. Anything in the back line, I guess Potato could come out to try to eat some of that damage, but you know, the Floof would die. Tuvine's gonna be getting really low. This is not looking too good for Jay here, but not completely out whatsoever. So let's see. Feather Gatling does connect on Size Munch. Tuvine stayed in, so he's going to be taking a heavy hit from Size. Let's see how much it is.
Oh, that is a surprisingly low amount. I thought it would do more, but speaking of doing more, Revitalized on top of the Size Munch, realized the pressure was going that way and gets it correctly. Now Surneef gets to make bail for the Mashuk in the back, but Surneef can't really leave. It has settling, so it's staying. And now J-Dragon is kind of forced to Hyperkinetic Strike here, lest he wants to waste his Aerobic Bullet.
Yeah, I think this is really good plays coming out from Golld, realizing that the Aerobic Bird from J-Dragon is actually the bigger threat to the Mashuk in the background. So you clean up the Aerobic Bird. Maybe you'll be safe with this Mashuk, and Mashuk could almost handle these other temps. So let's see how he played it. He kept it in. Hyperkinetic, where are we going? Size Munch probably going down here, and yes, he is. So Size Munch gets dropped down. Let's see if the Tuvine goes with a solid Feather Gatling.
We'll have to see. It does go to Feather Gatling, straight into the Mashuk as well. So that's some decent damage going the way. And I am surprised that the Surneef swapped out was really concerned about that Hyperkinetic Strike. And Golld had just got the settling is
this is it. Game number 3. As we always say, only one of these guys are moving forward into our finals. Will it be Golld? Will it be J-Dragon? You know, I'm not trying to jinx anything. J-Dragon has been in the finals before, so can this be the day he comes out a champion? Let's find out. Golld has been as well. So guys, do or die one of these players. Who is it gonna be?
And the biggest part about this is J-Dragon not only has to beat Golld, theoretically he also has to beat Dave. So this is one of the most stacked tournaments to come back into, try and find. I mean, it sort of proves again J-Dragon, although he keeps, you know, a lot of the time he says that, oh, this team counters me, or this temp counters me, etc. You can see that he really does try to tactically outmaneuver these fights, even if he does think his team is getting gimped here or somewhat, right? So again, just there's no reason why he's here. It's not like he's getting here on a shall we say a fluke, right? If this is happening multiple times, means that he is definitely steadily improving. But we'll see if this is the time he beats Golld here. Golld, again, not one to also be a pushover.
And for sure, I mean, that's what Temtems know for. There is no RNG, so this is essentially all skill. So J-Dragon, a highly skilled player, as well as Golld. So getting a little bit different start than we used to in the previous game. So it's going to be the Mix and Cernif opening. So Floofy not looking too solid there. And yeah, the Wolfie and Tuvine opening. Interesting. Maybe Plague into CPG might be dropping dead the Mix there, but on the other side, potentially that Water Current Lily, it is 0 hold, so I know that's that should be effective damage, right? I don't think nature resists nature.
Nature does resist nature.
Okay, so neutral damage.
Yeah, that's a problem right now for Wolfie, is that he can't really use Wolfie to pressure Golld's opening. And Golld is running this kind of opening where if you let this sit for like 3 turns, they will just be out of control. You have to be careful in these ways. And Kinu is picked up by both players. This is extremely concerning because Golld is trying to drag J-Dragon into these kind of games where we make it to round 20, and J-Dragon in most of his games, as far as I've seen, they've been mostly fast-paced. He's been trying to get them down ASAP. So if Golld manages to stall for long enough, J-Dragon is metaphorically will run out of stamina here. You know how important stamina is in this game.
Of course, and there he is, the big bad wolf. Tor tonight does get picked up for Golld's side, so let's see if that's gonna be making a key difference in these games. But this is it, as we said, only one of these players moving forward into our finals. So Golld versus J-Dragon, Paradox versus Enigma. Who is taking it home? Let's see for opening place. So Tuvine, notoriously known for not too much of a special defense there. So Crystal Spikes tend to do a good amount of damage onto Tuvine. So that's something to be considered. But as well, J-Dragon with the Plague CPG onto Mix is a little bit too dangerous. So I think Golld, realizing that, gonna be swapping the Mashuk in for that.
Tourney gonna be used as well to do a decent amount of damage onto the Wolfie. Wolfie will stay on a decent amount of HP, and Mashuk takes a plague to the face. Of course, again, this Wolfie really struggling to do some damage. Handcuff is gonna be his prime objective. Just try and shut down a Tem and slow and steady eliminate them. But Golld swaps in perfectly to Mashuk, who will eat all of Tuvine's attacks with no problem. And again, Golld is trying to buy time. Serdif already on 16% more damage. Or sorry, 8% more damage.
Yeah, and as Mashuk is caged, so there's Tuvine not too pressured on the board. Of course, Mashuk does have the uppercuts, but I do think 2 Feather Gatlings, we gotta see how much damage is gonna be doing. But two Feather Gatlings from J-Dragon's Tuvine is looking like it should close things out for that Mashuk. We'll see who's faster. Mashuk normally faster than the Tuvine, so may be able to get off 2 uppercuts before it does drop though. We will see though. We just saw how much damage that Water currently did. That's over 40%, so you can't take 2 of those, of course. So I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like Floof for the Kinu here seems like a solid option. Let's see. Okay, for Potato, so trying to get some pressure onto the Sernif. Oh,
Why would be swapped out as well for the Kinu? A very interesting play. J-Dragon trying something here. Trying to set up the Noxolotl to be a big threat, and Water Cutting Lily won't do enough to really scare off the Noxolotl, and Kinu will take that and stairs the item.
Blue, did you catch that? That was a beautiful thing. Sweatband was just eliminated off of Sernif. The Kinu with the snare, that is no longer a Sweatband Sernif. So 5-head play for J-Dragon, knowing or understanding that most likely the 2-vine was gonna get down. That is huge. Sernif needs that Sweatband. With Watercan Lily's way too much stamina, so that was huge.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just the Watercolor Lily, right? Usually people who build Sernif have kits that are extremely expensive. Revitalize takes Watercolor Lily takes a lot of stamina. Bush takes a lot of stamina. Like Front Whip takes a lot of stamina. And Golld is forced to leave, settling out of this. So it's a ball game again. He can't stall this out. He has to play on the offensive, and that's what exactly he's going to do. 2-vine is going to take a Rushol, so that's guaranteed damage with the Madness buff onto the Noxolotl. Is going to ramp it up and is trying to get the one Noxolotl toxic move into the game, aka Acid Reflux.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it is effective against the Sernif and the Kinu. The other ones, not so much. So let's see, the Mashuk finally able to retreat here. So out comes the Kinu. So this is going to be a big boy here. So Tortonite starting up the buffs. I do believe this is a confined Tortonite. So we could be getting some cage shenanigans coming from Golld's side this next turn. Let's see how much Feather does. Solid damage despite the Kinu buff.
Yeah, but the Stonewall, look at this behemoth. I mean, I can barely see the rest of the game from this gigantic creature's back. So much defense is raised already. Oh, immediately up to 3 defense and 2 special defense. This Tortonite is going to get stronger and stronger, and you have to be careful because Garden of Tortonite will just heal it back up again. You have to be concerned about this. Mix comes up, and this is a crystal board that I thought I'd never see again. Feather Gatling is gonna take some damage.
Here it is, as you said, Blue. Acid Reflux, the first time I'm seeing it on the board, and man, what a beautiful technique. Shout out Kremer for these beautiful animations. And speaking of beautiful animations, look at Tortonite's Garden. Oh my goodness.
And it dooms the Noxolotl. This Noxolotl is fated to die. It must put itself to sleep. It must put itself in a trance. Narcoleptic Hit is the only way that this Noxolotl survives. Otherwise, that Doom is gonna kill it. He has 3 turns to stay in this fight. The Tortonite regenerating as well. 16% HP is going to keep it durable, is going to keep it healthy. And now 2-vine is in danger because Crystal Spike is on the field. We might see a double spike.
Yeah, very true, very true. And wait a minute. The 2-vine Determined keeps it from Doomer. What happened there, Blue? Why? I thought... does it... Oh, it only dooms 1 target. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, but the best part about it is the fact that it only takes 3 turns. That is not a lot of time. And who runs the Doom checklist nowadays? So absolutely a beneficial move there from Golld. Golld, I mean, he's not one to slow down. If he needs to pick up the pace, he will pick up the pace. Tortonite will be swapped out as well as the mix. The move, the deed has been done, and it's back to the nature temp. This is a very colorful game we're having. Crystal Plume Gatling will be thrown out. The Sernif will be eating that, but the Protector buff already applied. Another Madness buff. J-Dragon actually buffing himself to trance himself. Potentially, but it doesn't proc.
No.
It isn't up.
No, wait, yeah, it should have proc under 30%. Huh, interesting. Wait, under 30%, you trigger trance. Interesting.
It has to be attacked. Noxolotl has to be attacked, but Madness Buff doesn't count as an attack anymore. Remember, it's a status effect. You just lose 30%, you don't actually take damage anymore.
Oh, a bit of a misstep there. You had to I guess maybe feather gatling your own Noxalato is a little bit counterintuitive. You would never think about it, but that would have maybe saved Potato. But you know, that's almost a lose in itself. If you have to feather gatling your own Noxalato, you're not in a good position.
Yeah, he does have a narcoleptic hit. It's still there. It's still there. It's still possible. And baton pass on the tour tonight as well.
Oh,
Heck,
there we go. 5-head stuff coming out from J-Dragon, potentially saving for a fact Potato's life here. So there we go, one little tick of regen, 10% increase. He has another 10%, so going all the way back up to 42%. Not too bad, not too bad. Actually, more than that because he has the pillow, so going back up to over 50%, I believe.
Yeah, the J-Dragon's Noxolotl is building up to be healing up again. But remember, Torton Knight can kill everything else. He doesn't have to focus Noxolotl. He can doom the Two-Vine, and Two-Vine can't save itself. There's no way it can purge it off twice. And Torton Knight is at 87% HP again with Baton Pass, Revitalize, and on top of Torton Knight's Garden. This is so tanky. This game is so crazy right now.
Yeah, insane stuff. And actually, if we take a look at Tortonite's item, he has the baton pass. So every time he enters the board, that is 8% increase on HP. So Tortonite's a tank. Every time he comes in, it's a little bit of a heal, a little bit of a life regen, if you will. 8%, not too bad. So little tech stuff coming out from Golld here on this Tortonite. But like you said, Go, some Crystal Spike or just Tortonite's Garden, everything on this left spot could be a solid play. But we'll see what Golld decides. Here's the cage, so this bad boy is getting even tankier.
Yeah, Confine will be available, and Flux is not affected because of Grease. And Tortonite, he's like, I don't need to go anywhere, traps himself. Tourney comes into the play as well. So Golld going from a fast play to a slow play. Remember, his strategy completely was to keep Tourney for as long as possible in the field, but now that's changed. It's basically using Doom and so many resistances to rise up. J-Dragon is trying to keep pace, but he can't really do that. The only temp that can raise the buffs here is Kinu for J-Dragon, aside from Noxolotl buffing itself. So again, Golld is going to win this long con strategy. J-Dragon has to pick up the pace in terms of damage, otherwise this is not going to end well.
Yeah, I mean, on the plus side for J-Dragon, Potato is maxed out in terms of special defense, and you got a solid +1 defense, so not a lot of damage output can be, can bring this Potato down. And he does do, Toxic Ink. No matter how tanky Cernif is, those Toxic Inks will be adding up. But Tornado onto the Cernif, okay, just trying to bring it down a little bit, maybe into that Poison Tick range.
Ooh, Two-Vine overexerts, but trying to kill him. The Poison Tick plus the damage with +4 special attack. The Cernif is gone. That's most of the base damage, the raw damage of the side of Golld is eliminated, and Tortonite tried to stonewall the Cernif, I think, and it did not succeed.
Yeah, and that's the thing, as we always used to say, Cage can be a bit of a double-edged sword, so the fact that Cernif couldn't lead facing off against his Noxolotl ended up being for the worse for Golld there. Of course, you get your Tortonite a little bit tankier, but this Tortonite has to pretty much be the carry so far for Golld.
Golld could have swapped out the Cernif, but did not expect the Noxolotl to do a lot of damage there with Acid Reflux. But now Golld has the Garden again. He has the Garden, he can doom the Noxolotl, and if he spikes the Two-Vine, J-Dragon cannot do that play again without risking a lot of damage onto the Nox.
Yeah, very true. So we'll see. I mean, I think he might be just sacking the Two-Vine here. Just a solid, crystals. Oh, okay. So protecting the Two-Vine for a bit. Out comes Wimplump.
Yeah, we'll be trying to do potentially some damage here. And yeah, the Mythical is just fine though, but the Garden is going to again shut down the Noxlotto, I believe.
Yeah, interesting enough, I feel like if you just went for the other slot, Potato's the only one that can get 2 status effects with just a single hit there. I feel like if we went for the other side, maybe a bit more, you know, guaranteed kill, because it's just that trance trait getting it the regen and the alert status or the sleep status. So I feel like, what if that went into Wimplump there?
Just a bit interesting from the Golld's play, and Tournament will be leaving, is out of stamina, so Kinu will be coming in. And there's so many buffs. This Kinu has been used 3 times already by the side of Golld. Another madness buff, and Jade Dragon's gonna do it again. He's gonna put himself in a trance, and it does work this time.
Yeah, wait, that's Monka S. That's so weird. Why did it work that time and it didn't work the previous turn? That's insane. Kreml, we need some explanation, because that's insane. That is insane.
Wait, how does it work now? Alright, well, as far as I know, Madness Buff does not count as an attack. You can't attack yourself.
Okay, so I'm seeing here, Blue Sapphire. It's last turn was from an overexertion, so it makes total sense. It's still a move doing it, so definitely I appreciate you guys explaining that.
Okay, good to know. So it looks like, I mean, I guess that does work. Noxlotto will regenerate here, and get more defenses, but you can't really get more defense on the side of the Noxlotto, although you don't really want that, I guess. Tornado's gonna come out. The mix should survive this. The Wimplump does not do enough damage whatsoever, and the Beta Burst as well will follow. Just trying to pick up this Wimplump, and again, this is all fancy and all, but Jade Dragon is losing HP on these Tems and will lose the Wimplump, and Golld still has 3 very healthy Tems.
Yeah, so the Wimplump does go down with that double meant to attack going into it. Well, what does he have in the back line? So still a solid Kinu. Potato's looking like a true raid boss, but it can't do the most. Or, you know, it only has effective damage on what already went down, which is that Cernif, of course, the Kinu. But how is he taking down Tortonite? 2 Vines dangerously low. Wimplump just died. What is taking down Tort? I guess some Floof with some Earth moves. Does Vortex perhaps, but that's a +3 special defense, and Kinu's still around. Potentially maxed out special defense before that Does Vortex connects.
I mean, I was gonna say a hope and a prayer. This Tortonite looks so monstrous right now. The 2 Vine is so low, the Wimplump is dead, and this is such a struggle. You can't confine the Tortonite as well. You can't just plague it, otherwise it gets confined. There's so many possible ways this Tortonite is basically invulnerable that right now this is such a huge issue. This Tortonite just keeps healing. It's back to full HP. Acid Reflux will do its best. It will do some decent damage on the Mashuk because of the maximum special attack, but it's not enough. Thus Vortex has to kill the Mashuk here, and it does it! Survives at 1.1% HP.
Yeah, so close. But yeah, the Mashuk will be able to survive. Let's check out the speeds. Maybe able to get off 1 more attack, but Potato being at +2 speed, will be outspeeding the Mashuk there. So definitely going to be dropping down. And Tortonite, I don't believe Garden is online, so Tortonite just looking to perhaps maybe cage. Is not the ideal. I don't think you cage here. I think it's a wrong play, especially because Floof has some effective damage.
I believe it does have Tortonite guarded, but the thing is, both of these Tems on Jade Dragon's side can purge it off of themselves. Bush removes it immediately, and Trance, well, you saw what Trance did, so it's not going to happen here. And the good news for Jade Dragon actually is that Dust Vortex does do times 2 damage with Tortonite. He can slowly poke at this giant, I don't even know, dinosaur.
Behemoth.
Yeah, might as well be Godzilla at this point. Such a monster.
Alright, so the three Prio Plague gonna be dropping down the Mashuk. Stonewall onto himself, so that's gonna be max defense +4 special defense, as we keep alluding to. How is Jade Dragon taking down this Tortonite? Potato doesn't have a minimum. He only has, you know, the Narcos to Toxics.
Yeah. And the more bad news is that Mix, no, he has acid reflux. Mix can't come in safely, actually. So, no, Tornadite is a solid rock wall, but this is reminiscent of the old Bullarin anaerobic days. It's not just enough to have a tank, you gotta have a shotgun behind it. And right now, acid reflux could just wipe the Mix clean here. And this Dust Vortex will do quite a decent impact onto the Tornadite. There's just a lot of options here for Dragon to turn this around, and he in fact is, I would say, leading right now. Has more Tems, has more options, has more stamina, or at least not at least more stamina, but at least more options with the stamina he's given.
Yeah, I mean, the play how Go can do it, of course, you could just try to doom everything else except Potato, but as you said, the Bush, the Trance, those Tems aren't going to be too easy to get the doom on. But Chain Heal, interesting one more time, but here it is, the Garden coming out from Tortonite. Where are we headed? Most likely into the Volphy, and it is going to be that.
Yeah, I mean, oh... No, Dragon doesn't run bush. I just realized.
I was just about to say that maybe he doesn't run bush. He does run something that most people aren't running, right? That Chain Heal there. So maybe he potentially not. You're very right, Blue. We haven't seen it coming out from any of these games.
Oh, no. This is he the Chain Heal was meant to try and kill off the Mix via some just direct attack. The Kino will be taking that instead. Just raising the defenses of the Tornadite. Acid Reflux will in fact one-shot the Mix here.
Yeah, no, the Kinu, that's too much. Plus special, plus special attack 5, so max out plus special attack, and they finally gave a special move. Oh, he does have Bush.
Oh no, Golld, not like this. Right now, he has no way to get rid of this dynamic duo. The Noxolotl is just as tanky as the Tornadite, and the Volphy can leave or protect itself. This is such... Oh, Golld, this position, it's just flipped. He's the way to push through this.
Yeah, the Garden not going to be doing enough to either of these Tems, because we just saw the Bush is a moveset J-Dragon has on his Volphy. And with the Potato Trance not gonna be enough, so with the Mix and the Tortonite being the last two Tems, J-Dragon seems a bit in control here. And you know, maybe this is what happens when you give a special attack move to Noxolotl. He didn't have one all patch, but you give him one move and he's looking like a god here in this semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, you know what they say, give an inch, you take a mile. And right now, they slowly grabbed inch by inch, dragging this game back into his grasp. J-Dragon now in a commanding lead, eliminating Cernif out of this potential fight, eliminating Kinu, and Mix is not safe at all. Right now, still with 4 Tems and with a pretty much invincible Noxolotl, he is the advantage and is in favor to winning this. Turbo Choreography just to speed up, just to outpace the combo, which is C-Spikes, and Golld just has to rest. He's gonna try and figure out how to go about this, and he still does have some chances.
Yeah, we gotta see. I believe is Acid Reflux just a one-turn move, and yes it is. So not back to back, but one turn back to back. Mix doesn't go down, but does get 2 ticks of poison. Does it have an AoE move? No. Does Vortex? How much is it gonna do? 92 all the way down to 72, so right about 20% damage.
Ice Surge comes out as well, and you have to be careful. You can't let your Tems get picked off here. The Mix is so close to death row. The Noxolotl is overexerted and can't do anything. Volphy has to leave, and J-Dragon still has a 2-1 and the Kinu, but he wants to keep 10 advantage just in case it does make it to round 30, but I don't think it's going to happen. This Tortonite is too tanky. The Garden is going to make sure he's always going to have HP. This is so close.
Yeah, so energy manipulation, just getting 2-1 surviving by a hair. That's a single HP.
Absolutely, Tornadite Garden is applied here. Really wants to kill off this Noxolotl, and remember, if he doesn't have a partner, he can't do the trance shenanigans without being compromised. So Noxolotl will have to do the madness buff. And Mix, now at 9.5% HP, is one acid reflux away from death.
Yeah, and the thing is, +5 special defense, no attack is going to be doing over 20% damage onto Potato there. Not even a crazy crystal spike from the Mix or the Tortonite, of course. So yeah, Potato looking somewhat solid, but Tornado at least getting off a final hoorah from the Tuvine. Does okay damage, and the madness buff to try to get this Doom status condition off of him. He's saying, Doom, just get off of me, and does just that.
Energy manipulation will shut down the Tuvine as expected, will be going down, but once Potato wakes up, acid reflux will kill the Mix here for sure, and that is the problem. Wolfie comes back, still has Bush, Crystal Spikes doesn't do enough damage to kill off this Wolfie in one hit. That's what energy manipulation is for. That's what Psy Surge is for. We'll see what J-Dragon does here. Maybe just sacks the Wolfie for another Dust Vortex with the Tortonite. But again, that Garden is making sure Tortonite is not taking enough damage. He's not budging.
Yeah, two crazy raid bosses. Potato finally going a little bit down in terms of stamina. So let's see. I mean, we haven't seen the AoE. We didn't see the sandstorm. We haven't seen that yet. So I'm assuming if he has it right now, then he will be deploying it right here during this turn. But here we go. So Cage is gonna be coming out.
Oh no, the elusive, Team Elusive, right there, keeping the Volpe in check, and also Prize Bush, as it's now faster than Psy Surge.
Wow.
Oh my god, this Wolfie is the most obnoxious thing on the planet.
You know, this is quite the combo here, the Noxalato and the Wolfie combo. I mean, you can't get Cage from the team evasion, you get the Bush to cancel out this Doom, Potato as well. Man, a lot of stuff. So, you know, I'm assuming Floofy, and I keep calling him Floofy, but Wolfie doesn't have the AoE necessary.
Acid Reflux is gonna get thrown out as well here.
Yeah,
the Mix will finally die.
Finally, even if it didn't go down, those poison ticks would have brought it down. So Plague does connect. So little by little, I think this Tortonite will be crumbling down. The bigger they are, the harder they do tend to fall sometime. And Tortonite is a big boy. Yeah. Oh, the heals though.
The overexertion though, Tortonite cannot maintain this. He's not built for this. He's not efficient enough here. Right now, this is such a brutal position. Now it's just Godzilla versus the world, and it looks like the world has found a way to beat Godzilla. There's no way.
And you know, you still got a Kinu in the back line, so if you can even get some Revitalize going on a bit later. But let's see, so Bush protecting it, no more, man, just the 1-2 evasion, life regen, eliminated in Doom status condition.
Tortonite in a position where he has to spam Garden on the Noxalotl, so Noxalotl can't do damage. But also, there's just not enough. Acid Reflux, again, will do 5% damage, but 5% is more than enough. Slowly but surely, just pushing, inching forward. Another Tortonite's Garden again, just trying to heal up as well as curses in another target. There's so many things he's trying to hold off here, and J-Dragon is gonna keep pushing the Wolfie. He has to, otherwise he's gonna lose this combo.
Yeah, and the thing is, running out of stamina there, so it's gonna be able to push, but it seems like Golld saw where it was going. It was going to join us in it. This is it. As I've been saying, we are here finally in our finals. We have none other than a previous champion, Dave Goblino, versus a multi-finalist, J-Dragon. So I believe Jay has yet to secure the crown. Is today the day? Is today the day? J-Dragon says enough of the second place shenanigans. I want the gold trophy. I want to take it home. This could be his time to shine. He has a team. He's ready to play. Let's see what's going down in this game number 1 of our finals.
And I do again have to say, even though J-Dragon is a multi-finalist, Dave Goblino is Dave Goblino. has won these before, and albeit J Dragon played one hell of a match. That was against Golld. Golld has taken games off for Dave Goblino, so if you think of it that way, right, you have to consider he used all of his energy. I think he went Super Saiyan to beat Golld there. So to beat Dave Goblino, I think he has to go plus Ultra or something.
Oh yeah, Ultra Instinct. But no, both really competitive players. Of course, Dave a little bit more decorated, if you will. You know, he did place, I believe, 2nd place in the World Cup we had a little bit before, or not we had, but the Temtem community had a couple weeks ago. But let's take a look at the match here. So J Dragon starting off with his aerobic Volarant and the Wolfie to get things started. Let's see what Dave Goblino is thinking. So he has the Barnchi. Is he going to be pairing it with the Zenith? He's kind of leaning towards it, I guess, to try to deal with the aerobic ASAP, because a Hypoxia and Crystal Spike should be knocking it out.
Yeah, Dave running the double crystal in the back pocket does, actually the double crystal does absolutely nothing here against J Dragon's composition. He's not running any mantle aside from Kinu, but you don't really want to pick up a crystal temp for Kinu, if anything. This is just an interesting position Dave is in, because both these players, their teams don't really like match up very well. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, on J Dragon's side, the only mental tem is Kinu, so I think Dave wants to gun that one down. He has a lot of neutral. He has the size munch. He's considering his option. I mean, Potato seemed like a dangerous game to play last game, but maybe he has a little bit more physical pressure. Dave definitely has more physical pressure than Golld had previously, so maybe Noxalato not too much of a threat for Dave here. So decides to go just with a solid ban onto the Mashuk. So protect your own Foofy.
Oh, yeah.
And your Crystal Temtems.
Exactly. Now Crystal Temtems are both available, but Wolfie will be picked up. And I think the common theme is, if Wolfie gets banned, you ban the other Wolfie. If Wolfie doesn't get banned, you both pick up Wolfie. So right now, we'll see if J Dragon will be able to push forward against Dave Goblino.
Yeah, let's see. So Size Munch paired with the Barnchi, Wolfie paired with the aerobic Volarant. Let's try to think of some opening lines of play. So uppercut from Size Munch is gonna be hurting this Wolfie, of course. And on the other side, I mean, Hypoxia, I don't remember if Dave is running Hypoxia, but it is available to Barnchi, of course, so that does a handful to these aerobic birds. On the other hand, maybe...
Heat up is also available.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of plays here. Playing is also available to play the Size Munch. But of course, that's what Show Off is for as well. You can invigorate. But without the Scunch, I guess you can't really pull that play off. As you mentioned, there's a lot of different ways to
maybe
play
Plague Noxious Bomb the Barnchi not too bad. I feel like that would 2 Noxious Bomb would take Barnchi pretty low. Barnchi pretty effective against that Noxalato, but going with a solid Feather Gatling, so prioritizing this Size Munch is looking like the game plan for J Dragon.
Yeah, uppercut's gonna come out on the Wolfie. Drops it very low, but that allows a flank into the Size Munch. Size Munch is just gone. And again, it's a repeat of the game 1 we saw with Dave Goblino. Will trade off the Size Munch, but this time gets a good trade. Wolfie now gone for the side of J Dragon. That is a very...
This opening turn, fireworks, gun blazings, already exchanging 1 for 1. So Size Munch going down to a Plague Feather Gatling, and Wolfie going down to a solid uppercut Hypoxia. So solid trades, you know, pretty even so far. So just 1-1, both working with just 4 Temtems remaining for this game number 1, and it's only turn 2. So solid exchanges going all around here.
Exactly, just a 1-for-1 trade. Fortunately for Dave, his Size Munch is quite fast, so he outsped the Plague on the side of J Dragon. So Peter Protector gonna come out here, just purging off that -1 defense from aerobic Volarant. But Zenith gonna come out here, and this is a combo we haven't seen in a while. Barnchi Zenith. This used to be an opening as well, way back when mixed Zenith was the play. This is one of those openings where Barnchi hit really hard and so did Zenith, and everyone just went face. Dave reliving those times.
Yeah, and that's Dave's game plan. He wants to go face for sure. A little bit mono red if you guys are familiar. But let's see. So Kinu does get swapped out. In comes the Whiplump. Okay, so is gonna be gunning down the Barnchy there. So Noxious Bomb. Okay, solid. So solid 33%.
Yeah, Tornado gonna get traded here though. Along with Crystal Spikes, you have to be careful. If the go face strat picks off a temp and you don't respond in time, you'll be in a world of hurt. We'll see if this is enough. No, Channeler is not enough, but that puts Jade Dragon on edge. He has to trade here, or he has to stay alive somehow. But at this point, I do think he needs to get a pick off here. He needs to trade something.
Yeah, you know, the biggest question here, he lost his Wolfie. That was the Dust Vortex. That was the effective damage onto these Crystal Temps. How does he deal with Zenrith and Mix here now? I mean, the Aerobic Bird obviously always strong, but it's going to be going down if it stays on the board here. Crystal Spike, you know, you can get a final Hyperkinetic, but, you know, that would just be a one-time thing.
Acid Reflux. It is a move, but crystals take half damage from that. I mean, that used to be the thing crystals were used for, right? Just to eat those toxic attack moves. And yes, the poison ticks were useful, but just not being able to do that flat damage is already good enough. And we'll see how Dave responds to this. We'll see how Jade Dragon responds to this. So he does go for the trade. He uses all-out Zenrith, drops it of below 50%, which is very smart. That allows for a sharp rain to potentially shut it down. But Crystal Spikes goes into the Whiplump, trying to pick that off as he's
oh, this might kill Blue. Tornado. Oh, yeah, and yes, it does. So Zenrith, that's one way to do it. Hyperkinetic followed by the Tornado, solid line, and didn't think the Voldering would stay in. Didn't gun it down.
God. No way, Dave outplays himself. He didn't ignore the bag. He just loses the temp for free, and then, I mean, the strat of go face is that you always maintain even or ahead, but now you're behind, so you have to do something to compensate. And Wolfie is the right temp for the job. Plague will do enough to kill Voldering, and Plague will insta-give the Whiplump here at 50% HP.
Yeah, very true. Plague is a dangerous move, staring down this Whiplump. So potentially Potato or Kinu could be coming out there, but no, not Kinu. You don't want to buff up this Vola here. But Vola plus 2 speed should be able to get off a final move. So I think Dave still has it gunned down. He had a wind burst it last turn, but of course Dave just saying no way Jade Dragon is keeping it on the board. But never say never. A little bit of not a misstep, but just a misread. Hyperconnect was the previous turn, so this turn not available to him, but he still has a solid Feather Gatling that should be outspeeding the Wolfie, even with plus 3 prio, or not plus 3 prio, 3 prio.
Yeah, this is a struggle now I mean, it's not a struggle necessarily. Dave still has a lot of outs. I don't think he's that concerned, actually. If I'm being honest here, he seems to be in an okay position, which is perfectly fine as well. Still has several ways to turn this around.
You know what? Looking at it now that the Zenrith is gone, taking a look at the scoreboard, now we flip the question back. What is taking down Noxalato? If Barnchy drops dead, what is taking down Noxalato? Not too much. Everything remaining on Dave Goblino's side is special attack. If Jade Dragon is able to stack up this Noxalato like he did in these previous games, this is going to be a force to mess with. So Plague is going to connect what was the Whiplump spot now into the Kinu.
But Barnchy does do decent damage on Noxalato. That's what you have to be about.
And did you catch that? So Jade Dragon playing the Kinu so well with the snare makes it a beautiful target, and it takes off the handcuffs off of Wolfie there, so not going to be getting off those free cages with the Plague there, so that might be pretty huge going forward in this game. I think Jade Dragon pulling back the momentum from Dave here, but there's still a good amount of games still left to be played.
Absolutely. I mean, in the interesting sense of the word, the handcuffs get pulled off, and therefore nothing happens. But yeah, turbo choreography just gonna apply here, trying to speed up the Toxolotl here, but at the cost of Kinu's life, it most likely will be. Plagues to get thrown out again,
Ooh.
but the Kinu needs that because again, nature. Kinu will be fine, at least somewhat fine. Madness buff is thrown out, just trying to raise the abilities of this Noxolotl. One more time is a bit risky. It's up to how much Crystal Spikes will do. But we might see a Acid Reflux just to do a lot of damage here. But may not potentially happen.
Yeah, definitely. So Kinu will be able to swap out, maybe get a little protector buff a bit down the road. But that means it's gonna be almost a guaranteed death. It will either be the Volrent or the Whiplump. Both of those go down to something like a Plague from the Wolfie. Yeah, a bit of a tough predicament now. Dave is putting Jay in.
Yeah, in such a say rough position here. We'll see Sacrifice thrown out here, and it will just buff up the Noxolotl here. Just trying to go all out. Turbo choreography applies on itself. Literally all the buffs in the universe just to make sure that this Noxolotl will not fall. Energy manipulation literally does 3% damage. But that means the burglar is gonna steal the pillow. Surely, nope, it's Team Elusive. Got baited, but doesn't matter. Did not happen. Almost got baited. But in fact, still exhausted.
Yeah, still exhausted, but the sacrifice coming out. So despite not being trans triggered, it's still finding himself at +5 special defense. The remaining of Dave Goblino's team, those are special attackers. The question arises one more time, how are we taking down Potato from Dave's side? But you know, in terms of health advantage, Dave is leading. Dave is definitely leading in terms of health. He has the necessary tools to take down everything except Potato, so it might be a bit of a situation we found ourselves with Golld and J-Dragon. Tortonite being the Potato in this situation. Can Dave still get it? We'll see here. So Noxious Bomb just to do some decent damage.
Takes off the Volrent as well, and that's quite big. That means that there is nothing here. Now it's just Potato to do all of the work here. Pillow is still available, so heal up. But this is not looking like that Tortonite game. Right now, Dave gets the Tem advantage again. Has Tornado potentially on the Whiplump, has somewhat forms of damage, but the Barnchi in the back pocket will kill this Noxolotl.
Yeah, so here we go. 3 Prior Energy Manipulation going first. Does that mean Plague also goes first? Because that is a dead Whiplump, and it is. So like we mentioned, it is a little bit what we saw, but the roles are reversed. The Tortonite is going to be the Potato this time. And you know, Jay had 3 Tems in the back line, and Dave Goblino find himself with 3 semi-healthy Tems versus this crazy raid boss Noxolotl. Is it enough? I mean, always the biggest limiting reaction is that stamina factor. So whenever you go up against 3 temtems, it's a bit too much. In terms of always with stamina, it's a bit too much, but maybe Potato can get the job done. We're gonna have to wait and see. Mix is still 100%.
I mean, the downside of this exhaustion as well is that you lose rest stamina. You literally gain less stamina points from resting. So J-Dragon trying to get the stamina build up, but exhaustion taking it even slower. And now again, J-Dragon, the problem is when you play this Noxolotl thing, you play slow, right? So this is what I was concerned about, because Dave now he loves playing fast, so he doesn't have any defenses up or anything like that, but he does have all of his damage ready.
Yeah, so I mean, we can't discount that that's a +5 special defense. Everything on Dave, as we keep saying, is special attack, but I think just the Wolfie with things like that Lifeful Sap, as we just saw, it might get, you know, you get a free heals. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
We got a full rest board here. We just skip the turn.
Yeah, I mean the most that can come out, I mean crystal spike or maybe energy manipulation, a bit more solid just to try, because that's the biggest thing that Potato has to overcome, of course, right? It is that the stamina factor. So I think just little by little energy manipulation, plague, might be enough. The Barnchy in the back is effective damage, but Madness buff, so he gets a special attack now. Where is it at? Plus
also,
4.
It puts him in
We really gotta see how much this acid reflux is gonna do, but look how low Potato is going. That's gonna trigger the trance, so down to sleep he goes. Oh no, he was alerted. Wait.
Oh my god. No way. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So Jet Dragon was energy manipulated, woke up, then hit trance again because he woke up and he was no longer alerted. So he just went straight back to sleep after being energy manipulated.
Yeah, but I think he's awake though. Alright, let's see how much Doors Vortex. Solid damage, over 10%, not too bad. So a couple of those, let's see how much Cypher Surge does. So 20% all the way down to, okay, another 10%. So I think Dave definitely is gonna get it in the bag.
It goes back to sleep, but it can't. It's alerted. And there is no ability purges this time. It's just energy manipulation. It's gonna, oh my god, it's gonna go back to sleep again. It's gonna get energy manipulated, and now it's gonna go to sleep with regeneration.
Yeah, and the thing here, because Dave Goblino's Tems are faster, I see why those turbo cores were coming out of Jay's corner earlier, because with the fact that it's 3 prio from this mix, from this Wolfie, it completely locks out Potato from doing anything. You're not going down, but you're not reciprocating anything in return. These acid reflux haven't even come out from J Dragon's side, so I think it will be a GG. It's not right here, but it will be within the next turn.
Surely, it tries to. It's really trying to go to sleep. It's really sleepy. Let it sleep. It refuses. Alert prevents it from doing so, and the cycle will continue. And yeah, this is a rough spot.
Yeah, so I think a final 2 overexertion, but no bringing out the Barnchy here. So trying to end things off with effective damage. A tornado hypoxia coming out should be it. J Dragon going out with a solid turbo, or maybe he thinks he can still. Oh, what?
Why? How did he stress himself?
And
oh my god!
Blue, that was super tech there. So even a turbo choreography, I always thought you could do it, but here we go. Let's see how much this does. Barnchy might be dead here.
Oh my god! Acid reflux now gonna come out here. It's gonna do a lot of decent damage. The Barnchy is dead. Long live Barnchy! Oh my god, what is happening? He swapped in the Barnchy to kill off Potato, but Potato's just gonna go to bed. He's like, I'm out of here. Good night. And Fluffy overexerts. Oh my god, what is happening?
Yeah, this is the tankiest Tem we've ever seen, and back-to-back Trance is looking a bit godlike here in this game number 1. The thing is it enough to try to take down the mix? Wolfie just overexerted. He overexerted, so no damage coming out, so it's only the mix, and we're only doing 10% damage. If you hurt Potato, 2 turns of regen, 20% back. This might be going to turns. We're only on turn 17, but this Potato does not want to go down.
This is a perpetual, and because that Barnchy went in, now we have to sit here for another 5 turns as knocks a lot of heals back up to 30%. And how did Turbo Choreography apply trance? That was the most confusing thing I've ever seen.
And I can't remember what it reads. Does it say you have to take damage, or is just any technique that while you have 30%? Because apparently Turbo Choreography triggers it. So
it's whenever you're attacked. But the turbo attack, I guess technically, if you look at it in a metaphorical standpoint, anything is an attack. So I guess it's technically an attack. But I am so confused.
Yeah, you know, I think J Dragon did a fantastic job at either banning or getting rid early of the physical attackers, because that's the thing. And I'm reading here, so it's whenever it's targeted by a move. So turbo choreography, of course, targeting itself. You know, I think Jay.
Oh jeez.
I don't think he could bring it back. I mean, he can make things close, but we just saw what Mix and Wolfie can do together, right? Energy manipulation, plague, you put it to sleep so Potato never gets on of attack. That's going to be going on turn after turn after turn. Even if you can't take down Potato, when you hit turn 30, Dave Goblino has 2 Temtems, J-Dragon has a single Temtem.
Yeah, enemy manipulation again. Potato's just gonna be like, oh, I'm exhausted now, great, regeneration, and then I go to sleep. Well, because of alert, obviously he doesn't go to sleep. Wolfie bushes himself. So, at this point, I'm pretty sure Dave has just conceded to the fact that he can't kill this thing, so he's just gonna just wait till turn 30, I guess. J-Dragon will have to acid reflux his way to victory, which will actually technically win him the game. So Dave can't stop attacking. If he stops attacking, if he lets J-Dragon hit him once, Mix is going to die.
Yeah, I mean, it is half damage. Oh, and he did go with the rest, so acid reflux does get off. Let's see how much he does on the Mix. Not enough.
Oh my god.
Almost enough.
Again.
And wait, that's actually a key moment right there. Acid reflux outspeeding the 3 prio energy manipulation.
Oh my god.
Wait, that final turbo choreography making it a +3 might be enough to turn things back around. I think J-Dragon, if we can get to turn 30, I think J-Dragon is actually gonna win this. I do think so. That turbo, that last turbo actually did it.
Acid reflux again. He's faster than the Mix and the Wolfie now. He has stalled long enough that he does too much damage. I really do think because of that Barchi swap in, Dave blundered the game. He gave J-Dragon an extra turn to continue the perpetual, and he has enough potential to keep going. Energy manipulation is gonna go first though, which is important. Doesn't activate trance yet, but Lifeful Sap just, oh my god.
And of course, I mean, the biggest question, of course, by turn 30, if the Mix goes down, how the heck is he doing 100 damage onto the Wolfie here? That's gonna be super tough as well.
Yeah.
Well, Toxic is neutral damage, right? So it's not like the Mix is taking half damage and is taking all that. So Wolfie.
No. If Wolfie got hit by Acid Reflux once, he would die. But unfortunately, his Team Elusive. Narcoleptic Hit is gonna have to do most of the work.
Yeah. So I mean, he has to take down the Mix first, and then I believe Team Elusive wouldn't work. Or does it actually? Does it actually work that way? All right. So it is gonna be the Mix going down here.
Wolfie has to bush. Basically, so I do think enough narcoleptic hits will kill Wolfie. It's just no way, because J-Dragon has Pillow, and Pillow gives you 50% HP per turn. It's inevitable. Narcoleptic hit, yeah, as I mentioned, does enough. So Wolfie will take 3% damage per turn. Sorry, 13% damage per turn, while J-Dragon heals 25%. This seems normal to me.
Yeah, and of course, Lifeful Sap gonna be bringing back 10% of that. So there we go, back up to 90%. This, what an insane game. Round 25 here in our finals. J-Dragon refusing to go down, finding himself in a 1v3 situation. Now narrowing it down to just a 1v1. This would be the biggest comeback we have ever seen in these tournaments. So does Vortex connects, of course, a little bit over 10%. But yeah.
Crying out loud. Oh god.
Yeah, I think it blew. It looks like it. Since we're around 26, I think we're gonna go into turns, and because Wolfie can heal so much with the Bush and Lifeful Sap, I think that 100% is actually securing the victory for Dave there. 4 more turns, and yeah, you know, the Bamboozle going first. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, now Noxolotl can't heal itself. Can't go back to sleep. This is in a struggle position. It can technically manage buff itself to heal, but that's not what you want anymore. It's just not. It's not the plan. Narcoleptic hit connects. puts it to sleep. The Lifeful Sap will give it enough turns to just heal back up. But once Nox wakes up, he gets another hit in.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just gonna play out the exact same way. We're just 3 turns away from turn 30. The HP advantage is on Dave. Actually, no, what am I talking about? 3 turns. We are right here in turn 30, so it is gonna be ending right here, right now. Dave Goblino will be the winner. There's no way he can do all that. Acid Reflex fails because Team Elusive, so unlike Puppet Master, if it's an AoE attack, you take no damage, so man, that is massive. That is huge. And yeah, guys, so Dave Goblino, what a no. So yeah, Team Elusive looking solid. I think Burglar's solid, but I mean, both were good traits. Maybe Team Elusive showing off a bit more in terms of value, but because if you're the last Temtem on the board, that's insane. That's insane.
Absolutely. Kinu instantly banned by Jade Dragon. And Volerant is picked up.
Yeah, so Kinu, as you said, and Jade Dragon choosing to go with the Scunch there. So since he has no mental, the Scunch might have been a problem for him, so does decide to ban him. But you leave it open. This Wolfie, is Dave gonna be picking it up?
Oh, Dave is tired of this. He does not want a repeat of that. If he wins that way, I might think he was just like collapse. So he's going for the straight face.
Yeah, looks like Dave just letting Jade Dragon go ahead and ban it, or is Dave onto something? He wants to try out something a bit different, so going just pedal to the metal. 2 heavy physical attackers, Moflank and Size Munch. This Wolfie, we saw it go down the first turn, so Jade Dragon has to be careful about that that opening line of play again. Of course, though, you know, if you keep Wolfie in here, Size Munch goes down. That's exactly what we saw. We saw Size Munch go down turn 1. We saw Wolfie go down for Jade Dragon turn 1. So I'm seeing how is game 2, what switches, who's gonna stay firm or who's gonna be playing a bit more defensive. That's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, now Dave picks up the Crystal Spiker here. Jade Dragon, I believe, banned Zenarith last time after Scunch, so different change of pace here. Now the Volerant pick up with a Barnshee. Oh no, sorry, Jade Dragon banned Dave Goblino's Volerant.
No, the Wolfie and the Scunch, right?
Was it the Wolfie? No, last game.
Oh, last game, of course, yeah, it was the Vola. So let's go, the bad boy Potato coming out to play again. Is it gonna be doing some crazy shenanigans again? I mean, Wolfie's not around, so maybe not able to, because that was the only Temtem he couldn't get through, so we could be seeing a different picture. But I think the idea behind Moflank is that is physical attack, right? So Wolfie couldn't get through Noxalato because that was special attack. So maybe Moflank is a key to Dave's success. Of course, he has to maneuver his Temtems accordingly. But we'll keep an eye on it.
It's not only that plus. I just had a brain blast. It's because of execution. Execution
you're so right, Blue Sapphire. So yeah, you know, execution would have ended Noxalato ages ago. In turn 17, it would have actually ended it. So there we go, good observation, Blue. So maybe that is indeed gonna be making the big difference here. But let's go ahead and see how these players want to start off their opening play. I'm assuming one of these guys are gonna make the switch, because either the Size Munch is going down again or the Wolfie from Jade Dragon's going down again. Let's see who flinches a bit here.
Absolutely. I mean, you can already see from Moflank's face, right? He's the type of Temtem that does not want any shenanigans. He wants a straightforward fight to the death. If you can't do that, he will execute you. So he does not care. Straight to the Feather Gatling we go. Size will take that to the face, but Moflank already has all of his options available. Remember, Mort is so strong. Gorin will be eaten by the Parrier, but War Drum into Resistance Badge is so beneficial. But the uppercut does not do as much.
Yeah, so J-Dragon making the perfect read there, knowing that all the pressure was going into his Wolfie, swapping into that parry or Mashuk, mitigating huge physical damage, so well done for J-Dragon. And now you got a solid uppercut into this Earth melee Smazy here. So now, oh no, it is neutral, right? Because melee resists, so it's just neutral damage.
Yeah, so Side Munch will take double damage. Oh, sorry, yeah, it does full damage rather than double or half. So, what I'm concerned about is now Moflank is in position to execute. It does move last. No, one more turn for execution, because Hoary Ward doesn't work like that. It doesn't stack like that. So, it is, yeah, Hoary Ward is available here for the Moflank soon. Or sorry, execution. One more turn to go.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, J-Dragon's Volarin +1 speed already. Mashuk does have turbo choreography available to him, but I think with the aerobic bird, a hyperkinetic will go first, so you don't get that extra +2 stages of speed to be hitting a bit harder. So Mashuk does get pulled out. Who's coming in? It is the 2-Vine into both of these physical attackers to see if it was a good play. Oh, solid play. So minus 33% reduction on both of these Tem's attack, which are actually attack based themselves.
Yeah, uppercut connects though, as well as base jump. That's a lot of damage, and it drops Volarin to execution range, which is what Dave wants. Now, the problem with swapping out here when your Tem is 30%, if Dave manages to loop it and all your Tems are below 30%, execution will permanently be a fear, right? Because something will just die instantly, and that is unstoppable unless you evade. But the Moflank can't have drop, so yeah, you can just bamboozle yourself, or form of evasion will protect yourself.
Yeah, I mean, as we mentioned, J-Dragon does have access to that hyperkinetic strike at 50%. We've seen it before. It does do way more than the 50% on the Size Munch, so not feeling too safe. Let's try to see what Dave Goblino's thinking. Maybe the mix to trigger the Puppet Master. I do think a plus. Oh, it's only +1. Yeah, maybe it doesn't take it into a Puppet Master, but it's gonna be close.
There's a lot of potential play here. Crystal Plume Gatling stacking on the Size Munch. No, not Crystal Plume, but Feather Gatling stacking on the Size Munch just to kill it off as well. Maybe potentially just trade off the 2-Vine for that. But execution, again, is now available, so I doubt this Volarin will be staying in. If anything, the Noxolotl might be swapping in for this Volarin. I wouldn't be surprised if Nox was sacked here for the rest of the team for J-Dragon, because I am not sure if he's gonna be able to pull the same shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it's worth it. I mean, if you hyperkinetic strike, if the Size Munch stays in, it might be worth it, because then the Wolfie looking a bit safer, because the uppercuts are the only thing doing effective damage coming out from Dave's side. Of course, hyperkinetic strike always good on the aerobic bird that Dave also has. So I can see why these players are taking their time. A bit more of a complicated turn. You've got to place your chips somewhere, because your hyperkinetic strike and Size Munch doesn't stay on. It's a bit of a lose there, because Volarin will be drop dead, most likely from the Moflank. Oh, so it does decide to stay firm. So hyperkinetic does indeed kill the Size Munch.
Oh, great execution there. We'll see what the 2-Vine decides to do as well on top of that. Oh, Goring actually comes out first, so Volarin will be traded very nicely here for the side of Dave. Goblino loses, gets that kill on the Volarin, but Moflank drops to below half HP, which is very nice, because that means you can potentially just pick it off via poison damage if you manage to sneak in an acid reflux in a turn or two.
Yeah, and I do believe Goring is 3 prio, which is the reason it did do that. So yeah, both trading out some Temtems. So Volarin for Size Munch. As I said, with Size Munch down, makes Wolfie a bit better on J-Dragon's team. And now the Volarin going down, let's take a look at how much value was that. Okay. So I mean, yeah, I mean both good targets to take down. But now Volvi looking dangerous for Zenrip and the mix now, so maybe a bit more value for J Dragon, I want to say, but we're gonna have to see how it plays out.
Ooh, swap in. Volarang comes in for the side of Dave Goblino, and the Wolfie will now be here. And this is ideal for J Dragon. No direct threats to the Wolfie. And you can Plague Trap the Wolf flank. If you kill off the Wolf flank, then you have no worries. And look at that, Plague straight into the Wolf flank, into the trap set. And if the Wolf flank dies, we go into the same song and dance. This time, there is no Wolfie on the side of Dave Goblino.
Oh, huge damage, over 70%, but of course the CPG does confirm the kill on Moflank, and as you just said, Blue, that is it for physical damage. Of course, Voldering with the Feather Gatlings perhaps can do a little bit something. It is effective damage on Potato here, but you know, a key thing how Potato got set up so fast was that sacrifice, was those Kinu buffs. That's not available this turn, so Potato has to only set up from those trans buffs, and that's a risky game to play. You got to get under 30%. If you know you get caught slipping there, or you catch yourself at 30%, a hyperkinetic from this aerobic bird on Dave's side will bring you down the remainder of that HP. So maybe Potato not as crazy of a carry as we saw in that first game.
Yeah. Zenrith's now out low with the Volarend. The Wolfie is not in a position to really eat any other attacks, so might just try to bush or leave. Either one potential.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, Dust Vortex is online, but so is Hyperkinetic Strike on Dave's Vola. It's not any stages of speed, but just 30%. Dave most likely running close to max speed on that Volarend, so it should be enough to clean up that 30%. So J Dragon has to see that, but he doesn't have a good switch. Both of the Tems are toxic, so that's going to be taking effective damage. Let's see how it's going to play out. So Hyperkinetic is going to come out from Dave. Let's see how low it's going to go. All the way down, close to 60%.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's the ideal position for the trance to come out eventually. Crystal Spike's gonna come out as well. Two-Vine will take 40% damage, and you do not underestimate a Channeler Zenrith there. For the Gatling will do some decent damage on the Volarend, but nothing to write home about.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. So I mean, we do say if Volarend can stay on the board for an additional turn, of following Hyperkinetic Strike might be all the damage needed to close this game out. We just saw how much a Feather Gatling did. It's not gonna be killing it. Potato, I guess a Toxic Ink followed by a Feather Gatling could be enough. But I can't remember if Dave was the one running the Blizzard, but usually you have another wind attack. So we've seen Feather Gatling, we've seen Hyperkinetic, we've seen Plume, and Noxious Bomb. So yeah, I don't think he's running that the other wind, something like a Blizzard or Tornado, of course.
Yeah, at this point, the Zenrith may also have ways to build itself up, although I doubt Dave will do anything but Crystal Spike on the Zenrith.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you know, if it goes out, the 3 prio Crystal Spikes. So I was just about to say that Feather Gatling is physical and actually takes it down all by itself. I thought I was going to take the Crystal Spike to do the rest of the damage, but it hasn't started setting up yet. Oh man, that is huge. I think Dave Goblino pretty much secured this game and may have secured the finals, because this is tough with Two-Vine overexerting. What a heck of a momentum swing. I think J Dragon finding himself in the last 2 Temtem situation. Hyperkinetic Strike now online. That Mushuk is going down, so it's gonna be Wolfie versus Mix Zenrith. Yeah, going into Wolfie, so no even. Yeah, I think that was the right place. So Zenrith is looking even worse, or even better, I mean.
Yeah, now Mushuk to end it all. Overexertion on the Volarend doesn't really even matter. But Zenrith, that stamina nerf on the Crystal Spike's actually mattering here, because that forces an overexertion. Upper gonna come out here, and Dowd's gonna take out Zenith. And now Mix, the mental crystal. As I mentioned, pretty much you know, vehemently, Mix is probably one of the only crystal temps that'll be left in the fight. This is exactly why. Eliminate energy manipulation, able to control other melee temps in the meta, and crystal spikes. We might see the good old double spikes. Unfortunately, Mashok won't live it, but it's good to see it while it lasted. Triple choreography, just for the heck of it, as one more hit.
So the final energy manipulation coming out from Dave Goblinos, and ladies and gents, we got ourselves the champion of this weekly tournament, number 20.